Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the call. Pyle trying to make his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Wolfpack, what's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Rose Street. RoseStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with the staple flagship Sunday sit-start show, getting you all your questions answered for Week 5. We've got a pretty crazy one. Lots of injury notes still to fall, so we'll be covering that all live. We got some London action going on in the background. Actually, pretty good game so far, 17-10. Giants are keeping it competitive. I got my boy Graham Gano booting the ball all over the place, so not bad. Saquon's ripping big plays and big plays. Good-looking game so far. CJ, how we doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's a little bit better than the dumpster that we watched on Thursday night.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we can get right into the Thursday night takeaway so we can just burn that game and never think about it again. As we get started, Wolfpack, that thumbs up button, like, shares, retweets, all that good stuff to help us get out to more people is so greatly appreciated. We already got the mailbag starting to fill up. We got some call-ins already waiting. You love to see it on a Sunday, but continue to please help us get out to more people. That thumbs up button is a nice, free, easy way to do that. And speaking of free, we'll probably get to all the questions. We'll certainly get to a rapid fire at the end, but if you want a guaranteed long answer call-ins, or the super chat function over on YouTube is a great way to make sure you get your guaranteed answer here for Sunday. But come on in, get the drinks out. I've been hammering the mimosas to start today, CJ. We got the London game, so been drinking since 9 a.m.
I have a little Bailey's and coffee for me.
Perfect. Love to see it. The early morning drinks means who knows if we'll get to the post-game tailgate tonight. If we do, it certainly will be a sloppy one, but it will be fun regardless. Wolfpack, come on in. Let's talk about that worst, maybe the worst football game I've ever watched in 33 years of watching football. Absolutely abysmal. There are a couple fantasy takeaways beyond just what a shitty, just want to rip my eyes out type of game. I know I made a joke to Joe, like, we complain all offseason that we don't have football. We can't complain when we get shitty games. And then that game played, and I was like, I don't know if I'd ever want to watch football again if that's what we were consistently getting. Good Lord, it was horrible. In terms of actually actionable fantasy takeaways, we got a better look at the Broncos backfield without Javonte. Melvin Gordon started out as the bell cow in the first half. He ultimately saw the majority of the opportunities, 15 for 54. Also had 3 catches for 49 yards. Did not find the end zone. One thing missing from his day. I ended up playing 41 snaps compared to 30 for Mike Boone. So it wasn't exactly 50-50, but it also wasn't a dominant workload share. And Boone actually looked better in the second half, having 38 yards on just 7 carries, 47 yards on his 3 catches. He actually played as well, Mike Boone, more snaps in the second half, 20 snaps compared to 13 for Gordon. They just weren't really thrilled maybe with what they were seeing from Gordon, and Boone was delivering. So I know I called him waiver wire fool's gold last week. I do think Boone actually impressed more, but we also did not have any Latavius Murray on the short turnaround there. So ultimately, I wouldn't go crazy on Boone, whether you missed out now. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, do you take back your take on him?
I do think he looked better than expected. He was in more than expected. So I take it back in that sense. The offense still sucks, and I'm just worried about like what happens with Murray. Is Murray going to actually make this a 3-headed nightmare? Because if it's just these 1-2, Boone certainly will have some value. I mean, he scored over 10 half PPR points because he was so damn efficient. You can't be mad about that performance. But ultimately, I'm not sitting here like, oh, no, Boone's now a must start every single week. I want to see what happens with Murray in there. But he did, again, play more snaps in the second half and certainly gave them more of a spark. So we'll see if that's a trend moving forward. Other than that, there's really, again, not much you want to take away from this game other than burning the tape. But Alec Pierce did see 9 targets, called in 8 of them for 81. Did say before the game, a good tryout guy if you allow roster churning, but you're not going to want to churn this one after we saw it. His routes went up to a 75% share. First time he's been over 50% on the year, and we saw it. He was the target hog, beat Pittman in every single meaningful category, who had 5 catches on 8 targets for 59. A little bit worried about Pittman moving forward. Clearly not like the dominant alpha we saw in those first couple of weeks, with Pierce starting to emerge here. Definitely will be one of the go-to waiver wire guys. If you missed out, though, certainly will be on the top of the list. This is now, I think, 3 straight weeks with at least 60 yards, and this was definitely the most impressive, not just deep stuff for Alec Pierce. Other than that, it was gross. I mean, we saw how hideous Russell Wilson was blew the game on the goal line. I'd like to at least put it in his hands, but he fucking sucks right now. I don't know what's going on. This is not the Russ that we're used to from years in the past. We did see Sutton get his 11 targets. I mean, Hogg, 5 for 74. Meh. Underwhelming production, but still, you like to see the 11 targets. Judy looked bad drops, like not open. Most when he was open, he was getting missed by Russell Wilson. Just bad overall for him. And then there's nobody other than Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman you want to trust. Mo Alley Cox blew up a week ago, and then he comes in for 7 yards. Like that tight end rotation, 3 of them in there regularly. It's no good. So nothing doing.
Am I allowed to cut Russ yet, or am we still pretending he's
no? I think this is the hate cut week. Like we got a decent week last week, but the defense is actually too good that they're not going to fall behind too often, at least too big that they fell down behind the Raiders. So yeah, I have no reason to hold on to Russ at this point. Like why? He's not a good locker room presence real life. Certainly not good for your fantasy locker rooms. I hate Russell Wilson. Yeah, I think he's cuttable. I mean, I'd honestly probably rather have Geno Smith the rest of the year, which is nuts. Certainly rather have like Jared Goff. But he's probably long gone at this point. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason you have to hold on to Russ, depending on what else is out there. And then also Nyheim Hines, hopefully a speedy recovery there. Thankfully, obviously the fantasy takes are far less important there. We want him to get fully healthy, but we did recommend benching him in most spots. And hopefully that will end up working out for you guys. That's one silver lining, but hopefully he also has a speedy recovery. Deion Jackson actually kind of good in his absence, but I imagine JT will be back shortly. So I don't want to talk about this game anymore. That was more time than I really even wanted to give it in the first place. But just a couple important notes on the backfield, on some targets there. We'll now move into the Week 5 news. Again, Wolfpack, that thumbs up button does help us. It's a little light today. I wonder if it's because the game's on in the background or whatnot. But Wolfpack, maybe give us a share, all that good stuff to help us grow, get more people in here. We are starting a little bit earlier than usual these days, too. So maybe that's part of it. They're usually here at 11. They need some more time for the booze, I guess. That's what we like. We like our people like that. They know when the questions are getting answered. So we'll get through the news, though. Hopefully you're here for some news as well, just because it can help inform questions. Maybe you hear me talk about somebody, and that now becomes an option because they're on your waiver wire. Last note on that awful game, too. Albert O, 1 catch, 5 yards. I mean, he's been nothing for really the whole season. I would actually recommend maybe stashing Greg Dulcich's. Done a lot of talk. They wanted him to be the featured tight end anyways, this rookie, talented athlete out of UCLA. A guy that you can at least give – I don't want many pieces of this passing game. I'm not saying it's going to be a surefire thing. Nothing looks surefire in this Russell Wilson dumpster fire here. But Dulcich, was a good enough athlete. Looks like they need some kind of spark. Maybe he can provide it at a desperate position where there's not much else out there. So check that out. Quarterbacks, we'll rip through this. Mike McDaniel said the team's offense won't change with Teddy Bridgewater starting. You love to see it. And I am under the assumption that the nice production we're seeing out of Tua, Tua is solid. He's certainly good at hitting his receivers in stride. We're seeing that, racking up second in yards per attempt, just like we saw Jimmy Garoppolo, like most yards per attempt last year, even though he's just dinking and dunking. Same style scheme. Tua's been great for it, but I don't think Bridgewater is a huge downgrade. At worst, he's probably 80% Tua. Maybe he's even 90%. I just this isn't Tua that's helping blow it up. It's Tyreek Hill. It's Jalen Waddle. It's a brilliant scheme. So I think you're going to get about 80% Tua from Teddy Bridgewater, if not more. It's the Jets. They suck. So I really could see Teddy Bridgewater doing some nice damage this Sunday against the Jets. I have him up in my top 15, top 16. I think he's QB 16. So definitely a fringe QB 1. But we're getting a lot of questions on Teddy Bridge. And a lot of times it's like Bridge versus Wentz. I'll go with the guy throwing to Waddle and Tyreek Hill and just hope they continue to do the damage. Like I said, treating it like 80% to a low-end QB1. Do you think I'm nuts for that, CJ, or do you think Teddy Bridgewater is actually pretty viable if you're desperate?
No, I think he's fine. As you said, he is about, I'd say, 80-85% Tua. It's not like Tua was anything before this year anyways. So
yeah.
In Bridgewater, he's accurate. He throws a good ball. He's good at the short intermediate routes. I'm fine with him.
Yeah. Another punt. So you're fine with him. Another punt, if he's gone, I don't hate Andy Dalton, actually, with Jameis Winston out. Now, again, that's even more desperate. We're probably creeping into Superflex 2 QB territory here. But Seattle's given up the most big plays, over 15-plus passing yards. We know they have some deep weapons. We know Kamara's coming back and feeling like his full self. So we know he'll probably get a lot of dinks and dunks from his boy, Andy Dalton, today. So I don't hate Andy Dalton. I think he's like 5,300 on DraftKings. He's out there in just about every league with Winston out. Obviously, the offense is a little more exciting with Winston, despite all the mistakes he might make. So, maybe a slight downgrade to Olave, but again, we'll get to receivers. No Mike Thomas. Like, you're still playing Olave today, no matter what. Mac Jones is also out. And again, talking about desperation, I really don't hate Bailey Zappi. If you're really desperate.
Stop, please.
I'm telling you, the only reason that he wouldn't succeed today is because the coaching staff just hands the ball off 70 times. And they might actually do that.
That's probably what they'll do.
Probably what they'll do. Probably what they should do. But even that being said, what he's going to need to make the throws, I think he can. I thought to come into Lambeau and do what he did, like, he made some NFL-style throws. The guy broke a ton of records last year in college. He's got the arm to do it. So coming in against a Lions team, if the script does get flipped, because we do know St. Brown's playing today, maybe the Lions put up 2 early scores and they force Bailey Zappi to have to make some throws. Again, it's a desperation play. He's 5,100 on DraftKings. Like, if you're punting the position, hoping that the top-end QBs do not do anything, you could do worse, is all I'm saying. The Detroit Lions are that bad on defense, that good on offense, that they seem to be forcing a shootout every week. This will, of course, be the best test of that because nobody wants to avoid a shootout quite like the Patriots. So we will see what happens there. But I'm telling you, I really don't think Zappi is I think he could go for 2 touchdowns, like 260-ish, if forced into having to. It probably will be Damian Harris 150 and 2, or Mondre 75-2 and like a receiving touchdown. Like, it's probably going to funnel through the backs. Backs are destroying this team, but there could be offense up for grabs against this horrible team. Moving on to running backs. Awesome story, of course. One of the best of the year is that fact that Brian Robinson, after being shot twice in his right leg 6 weeks ago, is already back. It's insane. Some people are just made of different stuff. Brian Robinson seems like he's a cyborg. Terry McLaurin calling him Wolverine the way he's healed, saying it's just inspirational for their locker room to have this guy back. Inspirational for your fantasy locker room, just as important, folks, is if you have this guy stashed, probably not playing him. They say he's going to be on about a 20 pitch count or so this week. Probably not enough snaps to do anything meaningful. You might find the end zone, though, that those type of narratives where coming off of such a crazy injury, could definitely see the coach trying to pound him into the end zone and give him like more snaps than he would rather have at the goal line there. Wouldn't be shocked at all to see that. Still a very tough sell unless you're desperate. Like, if you're looking at, like Jerick McKinnon, like you got some injuries and you're down that range, maybe you just play Robinson because he's certainly a better locker room presence in the fantasy locker room, but also could just pound in the end zone. So I don't think he's an absolute zero play, but I'd like to rather just watch, see how he looks. Wouldn't be shocked at all if he's starting ahead of Antonio Gibson in the coming weeks. David Montgomery listed as questionable but expected to play. Sounds like there's a lot of optimism on him, which now kind of makes this backfield useless to me. Now, it's a good matchup. Vikings 4th most points allowed to backs. Just kind of hard to have a pulse on what are the Bears going to do. Herbert's looked really good in his starts, was rumored to be the better fit from the preseason for this offensive scheme. So what if they just continue to kind of ride him and let Montgomery ease back? What if they just go to the guy? Because when Montgomery was healthy, he was about a 70% snap guy, 65 to 70% of the workload. What if they just go right back to that? Could just be a gross 50-50 split. I don't know. If I don't have to trust the Bears' backs, I'm not. But it is a good enough matchup, too, that like if you're sitting there rolling around, I'd rather have either of those guys than Brian Robinson, speaking of the measuring stick here. So expect him to be out there. Again, just tough to trust either one of them at this point. Now, running back I would trust right away, and this is probably the last time I'd trust him if he doesn't come through, is Alvin Kamara. He's listed as questionable, but expected to play. Lots of reports throughout the week that he was looking like his old self, explosive, running all over the field. So I do like getting Kamara. I mean, you can't have a better matchup. 31st, only the Lions are giving up most points. Lions and Texans, rather, giving up more points than the Seattle Seahawks. We just saw Jamal Williams ripping big play after big play against them. They're susceptible to backs as receivers. They're susceptible as runners. They're susceptible to everything. Seahawks fucking suck. So ultimately, if Kamara does not do it this week, when's he going to do it? But you have to have him in your lineups this week. You got to give him at least one more shot. And I think he's going to come through for you guys today. Good chance to buy low on him, too. If you can somehow squeeze in an offer before the kickoff, I think we're going to get like a vintage 120, like 2, just blowing it up. Maybe 120 total, maybe not all on the ground, but I do think we're going to get some good work from him. Last running back note, really quick note. So we're going to get to your questions in just a few minutes, Wolfpack. But 1 or 2 running back notes. Tony Pollard did travel with the team. He is expected to play, according to Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. I don't think you can trust him. It just was like, Zeke would have been a little bit more palatable if you had no Pollard, if it wasn't going to be this 50-50 split. Otherwise, it's like they're both more so Zeke It's like, okay, but probably you have better plays at your disposal. Let us know if you're looking at Zeke, though, or Pollard today. I don't really want to play either. Moving on to wide receivers, we have T. Higgins and Hayden Hurst. I know, tight end for Hayden Hurst, but both are expected to play tonight for Sunday Night Football. Both are great options. Obviously, more so T. He's in my top 10 receivers, top 7. In fact, think he lights up Sunday Night Football. You have to have T. Higgins in. Hayden Hurst, meanwhile, more of a punt type of streamer, but he's been scoring. Got the revenge narrative against the Ravens. Right around my top 15 tight ends. If you lost out on Dawson Knox, Kyle Pitts, we'll just kind of rip through the tight end news real quick because there's not as much of it. But ultimately, Pitts, Knox, both out. If you need a desperation plug-in, I do think Hayden Hurst is not a bad option. The other option I like as a plug-in is Logan Thomas, but he's also questionable. He's a game-time decision, so we're still waiting it out on him. Him as well as a couple other receivers we'll make note of here, and hopefully we get some news in the next 20, 30 minutes or so. Speaking of wide receivers, though, T. Higgins was an important one. Lots of just like good receivers that are expected to play that were listed as questionable. I'll rip through those names for you real quick. CeeDee Lamb, groin, questionable but going to play. Same thing, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, both are optimistic unless there's any pregame setbacks, so expect those guys in. Amon-Ra St. Brown got back to practice on Friday, is expected to be in. Pats are horrendous against really everything, but especially slot receivers and running backs in the pass game this year. Josh Reynolds is also expected to play for the Lions, and yeah, St. Brown's going to probably be the hog these back. If St. Brown's in, I mean, you're playing him. I got a lot of questions on him. Like, can I trust him? Have the bye? What if he's on a snap count? Might be, could be. I'm still playing him. He's earned that right. Like, you're not benching.
Honestly, I think I'm benching him in my league.
For who? Who do you have ahead of him?
I have Thielen and I have Drake.
No, not Thielen. Not Thielen.
I don't like St. Brown. He was do not practice unlimited. I don't know. And the Patriots secondary isn't as bad as the rest of the team is. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
All right. I think that's a terrible call. I think you're going to regret that one. For St. Brown, we'll debrief tonight. We'll see who's right, who's wrong there. But I definitely think St. Brown is in. They have the bye next week. So if they were really worried at all, like that this could get worse or that they're going to put him on a brutal snap count, I don't think they'd make him active in the first place with the bye week looming. So I think he's going to be fine.
Maybe I would put him in over Drake, I guess, but I like Thielen better.
Why Thielen? Why are you so into Thielen?
I'm not into him. I think he's more safe than St. Brown is this week.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Bears weirdly have given up the fewest points to wide receivers. And a lot of that is because they're so fucking bad on offense that teams just take the air out of the rock. They don't need to throw against them. And Thielen hasn't been that good. It's not like Thielen's been this lock all year. I don't know. I think it's dumb, but hey, hopefully you guys don't make that same mistake as our host here, CJ. Don't bench St. Brown if you have him. Unless there's like a report that he's going to be very limited on like a severe pitch count. We'll keep tracking that news as we get closer to game time. But as long as he's into me, I'm playing St. Brown. I'm not thinking twice. I think he's earned that distinction. A guy that we are also tracking, and I think this is important, more important than some might make it out to be, is Isaiah McKenzie. He was in concussion protocol this week, but Jamison Crowder's on injured reserve, so at least 4 weeks without him. If McKenzie's playing in now a full-time slot, really the only thing that's kind of been hamstringing him, and that's loosely because he's really been playing quite well these last few weeks. McKenzie has like 12 before getting hurt in the third quarter last week, 20 the week before. You're really starting to see him pick up the production, and that was still on only 50% of the snaps. Him and Crowder had been splitting it. If he's a full-time guy now, and now against a Steelers team that is brutally bad against slot receivers, like historically bad the last couple of years, including this year, I would absolutely love McKenzie. He's only 5K on DraftKings as well. He'd be in my top 30, right around my top 30 receivers, right on the fringe there. Should he be in with nobody else? Dawson Knox is out. Crowder obviously out. Very, very condensed target share here. Obviously, you got Diggs, Daddy Davis practicing in full this week. I think he's going to have himself a nice little breakout game and kind of get out of his funk. Good buy low for those of you out there. I like Daddy Davis as a buy right now. But still, if McKenzie's in, I would be smashing him. He'd be locked in my lineups. If he's out, and then you're desperate for a plug-in and also a punt on DraftKings, I like this Khalil Shakir kid. Did you write about him this week, CJ?
Halfway. It didn't actually end up getting published, but
nice. I guess you can't read about him on RedderStreetJournal.com or
No.
PG Wolves.
I do like him a lot though as a talent.
I love him.
Really productive in college at Boise State. He's talented, and he had a huge catch last week. I mean, he didn't really finish with many yards or receptions, but Josh Allen looked for him at the end of the game to move the sticks, and
Absolutely. He came in, as soon as they were down 15, he ran all 15 routes as soon as McKenzie exited, targeted on 2 of them. I mean, that's not a bad target share for your routes. So clearly, as you said, on a big time throw too, like where you needed to move the sticks, they trusted Shakir. So I love to see that. He was great all preseason, caught every single pass thrown his way this preseason, sure-handed, can work all the levels of the field. I love the kid. I think he's well worth a tryout on your bench if you can kind of do that roster churning thing. Maybe you can cut your kicker to a later game kicker, something of that nature. I'm not even sure. But I do like stashing Khalil Shakir if McKenzie's out. And I like playing him. Honestly, I really think if you're desperate at wide receiver, should McKenzie miss the game, I'm going to rank Shakir right around my top 40 receivers. Think he makes sense. He's only 3,200 on DraftKings as well as a punt. Last few receiver notes here. Hunter Renfrow is going to be in. I've seen him dropped in a lot of leagues, and I'm not saying he's a lock to bounce back. But as soon as week 2, he was already 7 catches, starting to get into that slot role that I think we were expecting, that Julian Edelman, that Wes Welker type of high volume role. It's not out of the question. I could see Renfrow being one of the guys that turns his season around big time for the second half of the year. Was really high on him coming into the year. And other than that dud week 1 where they're number 1 team against the slot, other than that, he's looked really good. So I don't know. I'm not starting him, but I certainly don't mind stashing him, seeing what happens. If he got cut, I'd be scooping him up. Juju Smith-Schuster is also questionable. They play on Monday Night Football. I don't think he's worth waiting out for. I mean, you could have MDS. He's out there in 70% of leagues. Sky Moore's out there in most leagues. Definitely a nice Monday night tryout if you have some bench trash after today to pick up and stash heading into next week. But I don't think Juju's worth waiting it out for. You're 6-7 points at best at this point, and they're good against the slot. The Raiders are. So I'm down on Juju this week, whether he even plays or not. And then Russell Gage, questionable again with everybody back. Godwin playing full strength at this point, practicing full on Friday. I think Gage, even if he plays, is not anything special. Not something you need in your lineup. Zay Jones is back. I actually do like Zay Jones against the bad Houston secondary. Think he can get some good damage out there. Almost the same exact amount of expected fantasy points based on his target share as Christian Kirk, targeting the end zone a lot. Like I like Zay Jones as a punt today against the Texans. Last but not least, Treylon Burks is on the injured reserve, so he's going to miss at least 4 more weeks. Bumps up Robert Woods for a little bit. Maybe Kyle Phillips gets more work, but I like Woods. I don't mind him at 5,200 on DraftKings. He's right around a fringe top 40 there for me as well. So that, I know we just hit all the tight end news as well. The last note is Harrison Butker is not expected. He's ruled out officially at this point. So if you're waiting on him for Monday night, you better go get yourself a kicker. Maybe their backup. It's not even Matt Amendola anymore. I forget who their backup is.
No, I completely forget because I needed a kicker today, and I forget the name. I've never seen it.
I know. I went with Graham Gano, and he's not bad. He booted a 40-yarder already. We'll see how he does from here. All righty, Wolfpack. That covers all the news. So we're going to hit all your questions in just one sec. But first, we do want to promote our good partners over here for the month of September. No House Advantage. Those longtime listeners have heard me read this before. Hopefully you long-term listeners that have heard me say this a million times have also gone out and checked out this platform and supported your boys here. It goes a really long way to showing that we can bring people in, that they are worth signing us to more deals in the future. So if you haven't already, be greatly appreciated if you go check out No House Advantage. They're changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Play a pick'em contest versus other people for the shot at winning $250K plus in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for correct picks, and climb the leaderboard for your shot to win big money every day. You can also test your skills versus the house and 20 extra entry if you hit all your picks. Bet on up to 5 player prop over-unders or individual player matchups across every major sports league, including NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, and NASCAR. Sign up now with promo code RSJ at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app on the app stores to get a first deposit match up to $25. Make sure to check out No House Advantage today. Experience daily fantasy sports redefined, because it's not just how you play, but also where you play. You won't want to miss out on this. My man CJ has been crushing his picks so far this year, well over. I think you're right around like 70%, aren't you? I mean, you're nailing this.
Yeah, there was, I think 1 or 2 Sundays ago, I had a tough one losing by like a half or a yard, like I think 3 out of the 4 picks, but I'm 19-15 on the season. Today, I'm definitely targeting a bunch of the running backs, some of those good matchups with Ramondre Stevenson over 54.5 rushing yards, and Harris I think is 64.5 or 65.5. I like both of those.
Yeah.
James Robinson's also only 62.5 rushing yards. Love that matchup.
Go for 100.
Exactly, easily. And then I'm going back to the Olave well. He's still at 4.5. I've seen it on other books at 5 or 5.5. So I do like him.
I was seeing 4.5. He's seen 11, 13, and 13 targets across his last.
He didn't hit it last week. He was ruled out of bounds at the end. Yeah, he was only at 4, but he also did miss probably half a quarter or so. And then I do like Daddy Davis coming back at 52.5 receiving yards. That's low, especially if McKenzie's out. If it's really only Shakir and Diggs. And then some of the other ones that I do like, I'm going against your guy, Bailey Zappi, 218 passing yards. Christian McCaffrey, over 38.5 receiving yards. He finally got back into the receiving game last week. Will Dissly is always good for like the random 20-yard touchdowns. I'm going over his 18.5 receiving yards. Kenny Pickett, over 200 passing yards. The Bills secondary is still kind of banged up. I do like him. I think, what was it last week? He had like one.
Switch those two. Get Zappy over. get
I think if the Bills go up, I think it's a good spot for Pickett. Singletary also, when I was uploading your running back rankings, you're high in Singletary this week. So I'm going with his over 51.5 rushing yards. And then sticking with Pickett, I'm going George Pickens over 41 receiving yards.
Gotcha. Okay. Not bad. I guess if you have faith in Pickett, there was a report that came out today. I'm just checking the news with the sound. I hate how this thing pops up. All right, hold on one sec. Let me pause that. I just want to check there's always a pop-up every time I go to check the news here. So I like that they did say before the pregame today, they want Pickett to be slinging it deep, really going for the jugular. That's the only way they'll stay competitive with the Bills. It's good that they're recognizing that at least. And we saw that average depth of target last week was over 13 yards. So you love to see it. Pickens was the big benefactor of Pickett going deep. So all interesting plays there. I do love the Patriots running backs. I love that Olave one. Those would probably be my top 3 that you've said. So go check it again. NoHouseAdvantage.com. Remember, these are like a ton of grabs. So go check those out. All righty. We're going to now hit the mailbag. We got a couple quick super chats. Thank you guys so much for your support. We'll hit the super chats first. We'll hit the call-ins next, and then we'll go in order from that point on.
We do have some early news that you talked about. Logan Thomas is out today. So.
Okay. LT3 is out. Okay, so you know what? Before I answer this one, Chris D, and thank you for that super chat again. We'll answer that in 1 sec. I know you're hanging out here, so I appreciate your patience, bud. Logan Thomas out is pretty significant because now you got no Dotson. I should have mentioned that in the receiver notes. Dotson was ruled out. He's ruled out a while ago, so I guess I didn't really think about it. But without him now, without Logan Thomas, I mean, it's really only Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin. I've been down on McLaurin nearly every week so far this year just because, it's such a all over the place target tree. But this is the type of smash week for Terry McLaurin, in my opinion. One of the worst teams the Titans are against outside receivers, in particular those that line up on the left side, which is where he plays most of his snaps. I think we get like a 12 to 15, 10 catch, like vintage McLaurin day, 6,200 on DraftKings, projected very low ownership right now. And I got a lot of set starts on McLaurin, and rightfully so. He's been frustrating. He's been a headache. I really, really like McLaurin with these other guys now out. I'm trying to think if there's even a backup tight end that comes into play there. Not really, like John Bates. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
Thomas was a viable punt. So if you're missing, like now you're desperate and you're like, oh, now my punt is now out. I will say I don't hate Hunter Henry with no Jonnu Smith. I just saw Jonnu Smith is out. Like that could be a decent touchdown bet.
Yeah, I'm playing him in the Millie this week.
Hey, Nurse 2,900. Not a bad play. You mentioned Will Dissly. He's a tight end 7 in fantasy right now. Will Dissly is just has a great chemistry in the red zone with Geno Smith and Taysom Hill. Seattle on the other side of the ball. Either of those tight ends, Taysom Hill or Juwan Johnson, the more typical tight end. Seattle's by far the worst team. We saw what TJ Hawkinson did to them last week. So I think you could go to any of those Saints guys, Taysom Hill or Juwan Johnson. I'd probably prefer Hill for the touchdown upside, but Juwan might catch 5-6 balls as well. So if you were banking on Logan Thomas, you got to have to find somebody else there. So, yeah, tricky one there. All righty, Wolfpack. So that was some big news. We'll keep our eyes peeled for Isaiah McKenzie news as well. And other than that, I think we're pretty locked in. St. Brown, we'll just need to see confirmed that he's 100% going. But otherwise,
I also just benched Drake London for St. Brown. So
thank you. I would bench Thielen though. I don't mind Drake London today. No Pitts. Like they're gonna have no one else. If anybody's gonna do anything for them, and maybe they just do nothing. That could be what happens to the Falcons. I think you got to play Drake London. I think you got to bench Thielen. I don't know why you have so much faith in Thielen. Ugh.
Yeah, I've always been a Thielen guy.
All right, let's hit these super chats back and hit that thumbs up for us, please. It would be greatly appreciated.
Chris the India, good morning, boys. CEH or Jamal Williams? I know you have Jamal ranked higher. Talk me through that thought process. I like them both, but only have room for one.
Oh, man, tough call. I think you have Nick Chubb ahead of both of them. So, yes, I agree. You do only have room for one. No flex in that just JV league setting. Jamal won. He scored multiple touchdowns in 3 of 4 games. He's the lead back. I am a little concerned with his snap share. Like he only ended up playing 55% of the snaps, lost carries to Craig Reynolds, even a little bit to Justin Jackson, who scored a touchdown. But all Jamal does is score. He's the goal line back with or without Swift. So he's already got humongous, leading the NFL in goal line carries, goal line touchdowns. That already exists. If this game is competitive, I could see him playing upwards of 65 to 70%. Like it's the James Conner of last year. It truly is. That was the comparison that I loved from Ian Hartitz coming into the year. I wish I had more Jamal Williams because of it, because that couldn't have come into fruition more. He's already got, like 6, 7 touchdowns? I think 7 on the season. He showed some breakaway juice. I know last year he wasn't really a smash start when Swift missed time, but he was banged up last year. So I love him. I think the player has just been, he's the heart and soul of this kind of team. They go to him when they need him in the red zone, and all he does is score. And I don't think this Patriots defense is anything special. I think they're like the 10th worst matchup for running backs, and 9th in points allowed, something of that nature. So it's like, matchup for running backs. They've also faced really bad running teams so far. I don't think our defense is anything to worry about, the Patriots. Meanwhile, like CEH, the same reason you'd be worried about Jamal would be the snap share for CEH. He also, similar to Jamal, continues to score. It's insane. But if one of the bottoms was going to fall out, weirdly, I think it'd be the Chiefs. And not because I think the Chiefs are going to stop scoring. The fact that Jerick McKinnon doubled up the goal line carries on CEH. He just keeps scoring these fluky seeming touchdowns on receptions. He already has 3 end zone target touchdowns. That's more than any running back scored last year. It's like, can you call it fluky if it just keeps happening? I get it. So they're both kind of the same play. You'd think CEH would be higher because he's in the better offense and thus has the better shot at touchdowns. I think Jamal just has a little bit of a higher floor if the game script ever got away from the Chiefs. I don't think it will. I think they'll pound them. I love them both. They're in the same tier for me, D&D. So it's not like it's like a huge gap. I think I have them within 3 spots of each other in the same tier. They're very similar plays overall. So if you were just I like the Chiefs banking on them, I think, it's given that they're similar, not high, huge snap players, but touchdown bets, I'd rather bet on the Chiefs. I can see that. I just personally prefer Jamal in the highest scoring offense in the league right now in a not scary matchup. Another 2 touchdowns is definitely on the table for him. That was a big rant. There's a lot on these 2 guys. But did you feel was there anything that you kind of heard that you cling to, CJ, or anybody that what's your take? Situation?
CEH, I just don't really buy, as you said, with the lack of snaps and the lack of touches and everything. But he seems almost like a tiny version of Jordan Howard, where he just keeps putting up points and keeps scoring touchdowns, and everything just keeps working for some reason. So I don't know. I do
offense. It was like Jordan Howard in a way better offense.
Yeah, exactly. I do prefer a running back that gets more touches than Jamal. Obviously, probably out-touch him this week, so I'd roll with Jamal there.
Yeah, it's just they've both been so damn good.
But I'd feel like a moron if CH goes and scores 2 more touchdowns this week.
He probably will too. That's the thing. I really like both plays. They're both in my top 12 running backs. I really have nothing against either of them. This one almost comes down to, at that point where they're kind of similar plays, comes down to the gut. And I can't bench Jamal Williams right now. And CEH, I feel like there's a lesser floor. There's a chance that he bottoms out a little bit. That's more likely than Jamal bottoming out, in my opinion. I love them both though. That's ultimately, I can't really give you one defining, this is why Jamal's the way better play. He's not. They're both very good plays. They're both very similar plays. Their faults are very similar. It's tough one, D&D. We appreciate the support. I hope that kind of weighing it out helps you a lot. I just think Jamal has the the higher 2-touchdown ceiling, given that it just happens every week at this point. That volume just feels so sustainable to me at the goal line. I don't think they're going to have any problem being at the goal line, especially with Amon-Ra St.Brown back today. And we got another super chat over from Bulldog. Bulldog, thank you so much for the support. What do we got?
All right, since Pitts can't go, I need to drop Brian Robinson, Rashad White, Romeo Doubs, or George Pickens for Hurst, Disley, Tunyon, or Logan Thomas. Well, he's out. But drop one or take the 0. Can't take the 0.
Man, that's tough, Bulldog. Like, honestly, if you think you can win with the 0, if you're a heavy favorite or you've already had...
just like, that's so cocky. I hate it.
It's cocky. It'd be a huge middle finger. And you'd also be able to keep 3 very good bench assets. Like, I don't want to drop any of those names. I love every single one of them as bench plays. If I had to drop one, it honestly might be Robinson. And I
no.
Really?
You can't. Well, no, it's not even about the talent level. It's just like, as you always talk about the fantasy bench, you can't have Brian Robinson, who's like an absolute warrior, fighting off like criminals and getting shot and coming back. And
the week he comes back, you send him back.
But he's been sitting on your IR. Actually, if he's still in your IR, sometimes you're able to keep players in your IR.
Yeah, you might not, but then you wouldn't be able to pick. He wouldn't be able to pick up Hurst or like move him in the lineup or something. If you were gonna drop one, that's why I want to take the L, because like you can't drop Dubs, no way, unless he gets like hurt here in London in the next few hour or so. Then maybe it makes it easier for you. I don't think you can drop Pickens because he's just starting to light it up with Pickett. I think that connection's real. And I don't think you can drop Rashad White because he's starting to pick up his snap share. He played, 39% of the snaps, all the goal line work. We're seeing standalone value to Rashad White in addition to being maybe the best handcuff value in the game. So if I had to cut one, it's Robinson, because you're looking at like a 3-headed nightmare with Gibson, with McKissick on a bad offense. Like all the reasons we don't really like Gibson still apply to Robinson. It's just that we think Robinson will probably take over the backfield, at least in terms of the early down carries eventually. So I don't want to cut any of them. But honestly, if there's one, it does send a horrible message. I get that, CJ. Like the fantasy locker room, you got this warrior you've been waiting on, and then you just send him packing, scores 2 touchdowns today, and then your whole team is like collapsing afterwards. I could see that too. But of all those guys, like, I don't know. To me, he's by far the least likely scenario to pan out. Like, I don't know. I just don't like it.
I think he makes the most sense from just a normal perspective.
If you're using your brain and not your heart type of play.
Yeah, like he's the most likely that you're going to be able to get back next week too, because he's probably not going to really do much today, and he's just kind of going to fall through the waivers probably next week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably if I'm using my brain and not my heart, I'll go with Robinson.
Yeah, and if I'm picking up one of those guys, I think it's Hurst. Tunyon's already playing, so you can't pick him. Thomas is out, so it comes down to Hurst or Disley. And again, Disley is the tight end 7 on the year. Like he just keeps making play after play. But I think Hurst always is going to be involved. Like Disley's doing it on about 60 to 70% of snaps, whereas Hurst is a near every snap player. It's a better offense. He feels more sustainable, whereas Disley's kind of a product of matchups, I think, so far. I mean, the team does clear. They've always loved Disley whenever he's there and healthy. But I got to go Hurst there. Just a better offense, better touchdown shot, revenge game narrative. So I would go Hurst of the tight ends. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I hate the tight end position so much, but
that's also why it's 0. Isn't like you might get 3 from Hurst. If you think you can pull this thing out without 3, like I know it's a cocky, like probably bad fantasy karma move, but if you really think you can pull it off, if you're facing like a real shitty team, I'm facing the number 12 team in my league this week, and I almost didn't pick up a kicker. I ended up doing it because I again was like, if I lose by 5 and I could have had a kicker get like 6, I'd be kicking myself because a win is a win is a win. You need to get it. But if you really do think you could win without it, like I don't want to cut any of these guys. I'm trying to think, like they all play early too. Like Dubs is already going right now. Pickens, I think all these other guys are at 1 o'clock too. So it's not like you can kind of like watch and see what happens and then cut one. And Hurst is tonight, so you would be able to do that if one of them was. I guess you could just see how action plays. If you think Hurst will last Bulldog till tonight and you're allowed to cut people after they play. Let's say Robinson plays, just doesn't look that good. He's sluggish, he's slow. Then that's the one to cut. I would say if you're allowed to do that and you don't think anybody's going to come in and sneak up on Hurst, at least get the tryout, run in and see what these guys all do today, because they're all neck and neck. To me, Robinson would be the first guy I'd drop, but if you're able to watch the game, he scores like 2 goal line touchdowns. Maybe Pickens just sucks or somebody gets hurt. Then you have a little more clarity. But if you have to do it before game time, you're not allowed to drop people after they play. I would drop Robinson. I'd go for Hurst. That's like the play. But I would see if you can do like the quote unquote tryout phase, see some action, then pick up Hurst later after you get a little more.
He could also be up big by then too. So
you might also be up huge, right? And then maybe you don't have to drop anybody. Maybe, so that would be like the quote unquote smart play. If you don't think Hurst is going to get picked up, Bulldog, and you're allowed to drop people after they play, wait it out. Worst case, like you could probably pick up, I'm trying to think Monday nights, like the Chiefs. So obviously Kelsey's not out there. Who's like Noah Gray? I don't know. I know the Foster Moreau's out, so like you wouldn't be able to get him. So you'd be kind of fucked if you don't get Hurst. Maybe Isaiah Likely, though, for the Ravens would still be out there. Something like that. Mm-hmm. I would say if you're allowed to wait it out, and let us know, Bulldog, I would wait this out, get some more info, see where you're at in your game. Maybe you're getting blown out to the point it doesn't even make sense to try to get 3 points out of Hayden Hurst. Or maybe you're blowing them out, and it doesn't matter. You won't need the tight end anyways. See if you can get some more info before you have to drop. But if you can't, I drop Robinson for Hurst, and I just would pray for my locker room to forgive me at that point. All righty, guys. Thank you, Bulldog. Thank you, DeIndia, for your super chat. So greatly appreciated. We got to get our man David Campanelli in to keep the streak alive. How are we doing today? Happy Sunday, David.
Happy Sunday, guys. How are you all doing today?
Oh, not bad. I see the Giants gears on. What's the score at right now? I can't check it at the moment.
2013 Green Bay.
2013 Green Bay. Okay, your boys are in it. I don't hate it.
I don't expect to win. So, but this is kind of I guess it's like a loaded question. But I know if St. Brown's in, because I haven't seen reports yet that he's out, you start him. So I need to pick two running backs then. I have Connor, Wilson, and Pierce in a full PPR.
They're all like right in that same tier. They're all neck and neck. Honestly, I think I'm benching Connor of that group. Wilson's got 80 to 90% of the snaps. He's got every single backfield carry last week, other than Deebo Samuel, of course. And yet that's kind of the concern with Wilson is he loses the goal line work to Deebo, and that creates a headache. I think Wilson looks good. And CJ, I want to hear your take because you know me. I've been gassing up Wilson for 2 years now. That touchdown run, he hit over 20 miles per hour. He looked shot out of a fucking cannon. I think Jeff Wilson is legit. What are your thoughts on Jeff Wilson, CJ?
I mean, I hated seeing that run so much because I think he's the biggest flyer of all time. But he might be back. I mean,
he's back.
the one cut runner is back to being a one cut runner, not a 0 cut runner.
He looked damn good. I want to hear what Grant Cohen has to say, but I have a hard time benching him. Dameon Pierce as well. I mean, the guy is just so damn good. The matchup, Jags are a decent run D, pretty good run D, but I don't know. Pierce is just making so many plays, and Connor looks like he's a little banged up. But that offense, the Eagles are just a dominant defense and offense. Like I could see the Cardinals just getting erased and Connor being shitty. So I'm benching Connor of those three. Do you feel any different, CJ?
I have Connor, and it's just like every week I'm just hoping for that touchdown or two. It's just not happening.
It hasn't been happening.
Yeah, really surprising to me. But I don't know. I think my Jaguars have a really good shot this week of just blowing out the Texans. So I think I'm benching Pierce. I think I'm benching Pierce out of the three. I'm just gonna wishful thinking. I'm gonna say it is a little bit wishful thinking with Connor, but.
I will say this for Connor, too. He's ran 25 or more routes every time he's made it through a full game so far this year. That only happened twice last year. So, the role is good other than the fact that he's not scoring touchdowns, which was the crux of his value last year. If we get a touchdown, he's going to have himself a real nice day. He's had good underlying usage. But I don't know. I don't trust him against the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a damn good defense. I think Pierce has a better shot at getting in. I think the Jags are just a little bit level below, as we saw last week against the Eagles themselves. So that's where I lean. I know it's a long debate, but where are you leaning? Who are you going to lean to bench, David?
I was leaning towards Connor, but then I have my flex open, but I have Zay Jones in there right now. So I could take Zay out and put Connor in.
I probably would. I like Zay, but I don't love Zay.
But I could also pick up Jacoby Myers then and drop Josh Reynolds.
I do is it full PPR?
Full PPR.
Oh, now it's even trickier. Is Jacoby officially in? He's facing the Lions. It's Bailey Zappi, though. We don't know that they'll have that same connection that we saw with Mac Jones. I'd probably go the 3 running backs at that point then.
Yeah, I would too. I'm not trusting Bailey Zappi. It's Wolf's QB1.
Yeah, number 1 QB player of the week, baby. No, he's my quarterback at 23. I'm not in love with him, but I'm just saying, like, if you were going to look at Daniel Jones today, I would have gone to Bailey Zappi instead. Like, I just think there's more upside. But yeah, so I think I'm playing the 3 running backs, David, is where I lean.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much. And with Pitts out, that was the first mush this week by Truth.
Truth is damn good at it.
So now we have Justin Jefferson too, because that was his official one.
That was his official one.
I'm just saying he's put 2 guys out for a week now, back to back.
Oh God, I hope Justin Jefferson doesn't get hurt at this point. Holy crap!
So,
all righty, man.
Good luck, guys. Talk to you later.
Love you, David. Thanks for the call. And we got a new first-time call-in to the show this week. Is Jordan? What's going on, man? He's got showing off the rings.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Jordan, how are you, brother?
What's going on?
Oh, not bad. So, I guess my biggest question is, like the other guy, I have Kyle Pitts. Even though he's trash, he's fucking out. And I'm in this 10-man league, which makes it harder to drop somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have only carry 4 wide receivers. I have Drake London on my bench. Do I drop? I'm thinking about dropping Edmonds or Henderson because I got Rachaad White is on free agents right now, and if somebody can almost use one of them as bait, and I'm thinking I'm just going to transfer over to like Rachaad White.
I think 100%. So I think you could honestly cut either of those guys. Like Edmonds, yeah, he keeps finding the end zone. It is a good offense, so like touchdown opportunities will happen, but you're getting 7-8 touches a week. Like, and if he doesn't score those touchdowns, he's putting up 1-2 points. I think he's cuttable. And Henderson, what's he done since Akers started kind of getting reinserted? That whole backfield sucks. Even when Henderson
that whole offense sucks.
That whole offense blows. The line is atrocious. And so even when he was getting the lion's share of the work, Henderson wasn't that good anyways, and now he's behind Akers. Like, I think both those guys are cuttable, and I definitely would prefer Rachaad White to either of them. And then if you need to cut the other one for a tight end, like, go for that too. I don't think either of those guys need to be held in a 10-team league.
Yeah, I kind of thought about taking the 0. The person I'm playing started Nyheim Hines the other day. So,
so there's a 0 there.
I'm still
there's 0.
I'm still favored to win without anything in the tight end position, but I'm unlucky as shit. So, but check out this. I got Chase, Jefferson, and Amon-Ra for my receivers starting. Amon-Ra is active. I just got the notification. So, yeah.
I'm officially active.
The Patriots, Wolf. Fuck the Patriots.
Yeah, go Lions.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. But I love it. I love you. Thanks for the call. And those receivers get me horny, so I guess I can forgive you for your Patriots slander. We're going to run the ball up and down your throat today, Jordan.
I don't think they can stop. I don't think they can stop Helen Keller at this fucking point. My 8-year-old daughter can run for 300 yards.
Seriously, they will. But I think your guys will put up points too. That's why I love the Lions for fantasy. I love watching them. I have Goff as my quarterback today.
Yeah, so I'm starting Goff in this league. Actually, I had Kirk Cousins and shit, and I'm just like, you know what? Sitting here, I never thought I would start Jared Goff, but yeah,
I have him at like quarterback 9 for the week. Love the guy. Quarterback 5 in fantasy this year. Good stuff. But yeah, so if you can wait it out too, I mean, see how the matchup's going. Hayden Hurst is the Sunday night. He's probably out there. Yeah, if you can wait it out and kind of see what happens and then make some cuts. But I would definitely, at minimum, drop Edmonds or Henderson. Probably Edmonds first. Get Rachaad White for now. I think you absolutely have to have him. And then play it out from there and figure out, do you need Hurst? Do you need to drop one of those guys? That's how I'd play it.
Yeah, I was thinking if I picked up, I mean, looking at the free agents, Tyler Conklin would probably be the only one I could grab to start. I mean, just
Hurst isn't out there?
No.
Oh, damn. I don't know if it's worth it then. Conklin, I would, at minimum, get Rachaad White. You can cut the other running back for Conklin then too. But yeah. All righty, Jordan. Best of luck today. Screw your Lions. Let's go, Pats, baby. Thanks for the call, though. Good to chat with you finally.
Yeah, you too, boys. Thank you.
Good stuff.
I know, see you.
All right.
Hey, so we do have a bunch of news. Want to wait till Giuseppe goes, or
we'll do Giuseppe real quick, and then we'll hit the random actives that we've been finding out here. Yeah. What's going on?
How we doing? How we doing? All good.
Monday. Your Giants are making this a game, man. Not bad.
Hey, we're doing all right. Danny Jones is doing all right. Can't blame him. But quick question for you, gents. Should I drop Stafford for Teddy Bridgewater, or should I drop Henderson, Madison, or Algier. I'm fed up with Stafford.
I still wouldn't drop Stafford. I mean, I can see why you're fed up, but the line has been so bad. I would probably consider Bridgewater, especially if you're like, my team needs to get a message sent. I think Bridgewater, I think Stafford 15, Bridgewater 16. They're right neck and neck. Not a bad play. I wouldn't cut Stafford just because it's McVay. It's good weapons. I could see them figuring this out eventually. But I would have no problem cutting Henderson. At all. I might cut Henderson, pick up Bridgewater, maybe see how it goes from there.
I was going to pick up Geno, and then this morning he got snipped up from me.
Man, Geno, the number 10 QB in fantasy right now.
Pissed.
He's looking damn good. But I think Bridgewater, at least to send a message to the locker room, not a bad play right now.
And start Bridgewater over Stafford, yeah?
I mean, I have Stafford a spot higher, but again, it sounds like you need the change. Sounds like you need a little refresher to the lineup. Not a bad play, in my opinion.
Thank you so much, gents.
All right, just happy. Good luck. Best of luck.
Take care.
It down. All righty. Let's now move on to all your questions. Wolfpack again. Call-ins, super chats do get preference. We'll be live for about another hour or so here, so we should have plenty of time to hit all these questions. But just to make sure you guarantee your answer, or you want to support the show, 2 nice, easy ways to do it. And the free way of hitting that thumbs up button and helping us get out to more people would be so greatly appreciated. But you said you had a news dump real quick, CJ. Let's hear some of these actives.
So Kamara active,
Yep.
Amon-Ra active. Where are we? Jarvis Landry out. Isaiah McKenzie out.
Oh, okay.
And I think I heard Hillary in the background. Saquon's now hurt with a shoulder injury.
What?
Saquon's hurt?
That's for Dan Jones running to a first down.
Oh, man. Okay, so McKenzie out. Was my wide receiver 32. That hurts, so I'm taking him now out. Julio Jones is out as well. I just saw.
Yeah, Julio's out. Yep.
Julio ruled out. And then who was the third? Landry, you said, is out?
Yep.
So, I mean, Olave and Kamara might see 100 targets each. Montgomery's going to play Hills, it looks like. Damn. Okay. So let me make a couple quick adjustments. I've taken out McKenzie. I'm bumping Khalil Shakir now up. I would put him above Allen Robinson, above Noah Brown, above Corey Davis. That's where I'm starting to get kind of drawing the line. I mean, would you play Khalil Shakir over Elijah Moore, who's done absolute jack shit this year?
I think I would.
I think I would too. I'm ready to be higher on him. Like even George Pickens, I love Pickens, but I think Khalil Shakir for 1 week only. I like this matchup more. I'm going all in. I'm ranking him at 42, just below Michael Gallup, Josh Reynolds, like that kind of tier. I think Jacoby Myers a little bit higher at that point. Thank you. Man, that's tough though. But yeah, so I'm bumping Khalil Shakir up. Definitely one of my favorite streams of the week. If you guys have a question, you want to know where I rank him up, where I stack him up, by all means. I do think Olave even sexier now without him. I have him now at wide receiver 19, just below Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin. Honestly, maybe he should be ahead of those guys. Oh, I mean, beautiful setup for him. And then Julio Jones being out just locks up a little bit more volume there for Godwin, for Evans, one of my favorite double stacks on DraftKings. There's a lot of people. It probably will be the most popular one. So big news there. No McKenzie. I'll definitely have to log out a little early because I have McKenzie in a bunch of lineups. Thought he was going to blow up, but we'll swap that to Khalil Shakir and figure out what I can do with the extra 1,800 moving forward. All righty. We got another super chat coming in. So let me hit that. Thank you again for the support, Michigan. Jordan, sending more support. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for the call-in chat. Appreciate the support. What a legendary super chat. Thank you indeed. All righty, let's continue forward with the questions. Now that we have some of that news, I'm just going to hit publish so I can make sure to get the most updated rankings out to people and make sure we're not missing anything. But CJ, why don't you start reading the question for me?
Yep. Brent Australia. Okay, so I'm down bad right now. Should I start David Montgomery or Isaiah McKenzie? Well, that
one's been made for you. There's only one of those guys that's active. And I would play Montgomery over Khalil Shakir. I know we're talking and raving about Khalil. I'd probably play Montgomery and hope for the touchdown over him, What about you, CJ? Like, where's that barometer for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too wild over the over the rookie receiver 3.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I really like him though. I have Lat Murray on my bench. I think I'm going to cut Lat Murray to pick up Shakir and see what he does.
Yeah, I like that. I know. I also have Isaiah McKenzie. I'm thinking about maybe cutting him for Shakir.
I don't know that
he'll sit on. Well, he'll sit on my bench anyways. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know about cutting McKenzie. He's been damn good, and with Crowder out at least 4 weeks, like it's a concussion. You'll probably get McKenzie back next week. He'll probably come back into the full-time role unless Shakir is like ridiculous today. So I would not cut McKenzie, but I would cut somebody to just see what Shakir does. But yeah, you only got Montgomery there anyways, Brent. So moving forward.
Campanelli, we got this one already, but would you start Stafford or Teddy?
Yeah, Giuseppe was asking this too. Man, I mean, I can see why people are fed up with Stafford. That's a good D-line for Dallas. I might go Bridgewater. I don't have my rankings to reflect that right now. I might have to change that, though, and go a little bit lower on Stafford. I don't have any faith that line can block this defensive front for the Cowboys, who are actually like it's been a while that was like a matchup you'd love to attack. This is a pretty good defense right now, though. So I think I go Teddy over Stafford. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. I already cut Stafford 2 weeks ago, so I'm gonna.
Oh man, you've been ahead on this train. I'm changing my rankings as we talk. I cannot tell people to do it and then not have my rankings reflect it. So I'm bumping Stafford below Teddy Bridgewater. Wow. Oh man, does not feel good, but that's what we're doing, folks.
Campanelli, standard tight end, pick one of these: Hurst, Conklin, Everett, Njoku.
So Hurst is going to play. I still would go Everett, though. I mean, without Keenan Allen in the lineup and Keenan's not playing today, Everett's been a beast. Njoku would be my next man up there.
Everett locked in every week if I had him.
Exactly. I mean, the tight end 6, I think, in fantasy, and he's not just doing like just only red zone damage. They're using him down the seam. They're using him creatively. I'm a big fan. I really like Everett. That's where I would lean today. Njoku would be the next one, though, for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Campanelli, Stafford, or Goff?
Oh, Goff. I'm locking Goff into my top 10 pretty much every week at this point.
Sarah Riley, need 2 of these, half PPR. Hollywood, T. Higgins, Jeff Wilson, or St. Brown. Cheers.
Sarah always has these questions where it's just like, how is your team so freaking stacked? Man, T. Higgins locking in T. And then I want to say St. Brown. As long as he's not, was the report of him being an NCJ? Did you see anything about like a snap count, any type of limited workload?
No, not that I've seen. That's a rap sheet type tweet. So let me go check.
Yeah, I think I'm going St. Brown still. There's definitely more risk to him. The thing with Marquise Brown is he's facing the Eagles. Darius Slade, James Bradbury, they've been just taking out number 1 receivers and really number 2, like just taking out everybody in general. That defense is really, really good. So to me, I'm nervous about Marquise. If you were nervous about St. Brown, I'd probably honestly play Wilson instead of Marquise. But I'm going T and I'm going St. Brown myself. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I was kind of bouncing between Hollywood on DraftKings and the Slay factor does just he's going to erase Hollywood. It seems. I'm going to go
Justin Jefferson. Like I don't know. I don't know about Marquise. He's getting peppered. 11, 17 targets last 2 weeks, but I'm going T. I'm going St. Brown there. Just kind of 2 must starts every week for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Campanelli, standard receiver, pick one. McKenzie's out, so Ayuk, Palmer, Zay Jones.
I'm going to go Ayuk here. Carolina's they're pretty decent against the pass, but not great. No, if McKenzie was playing, it would have been McKenzie here. I'm going Ayuk begrudgingly, and I wouldn't put Shakir above him either. This might be my last week for Ayuk, though. Like, he's kind of frustrating at this point.
Yeah, that whole passing offense just sucks.
It does. Would you go any of those other guys over Ayuk, like Palmer with no Keenan?
I don't know. Palmer let me down last week.
He's dinged up too, and I think that's why. Like he's typically been an 100% snap player, and he was giving up snaps to something named Michael Bandy last week. So, like, that makes me nervous. The thing you want about Palmer is when he's a 100% snap guy. I think after he got hurt, started to give up some snaps and looks. So I'm nervous about him. I don't hate Zay Jones against Houston, but I'd go Ayuk. Give Ayuk one more try. After this, he could be cut bait if he doesn't succeed this week, honestly.
Giuseppe, half PPR, pick 2 of these. Wilson, Singletary, Connor, Algier, Jacoby.
I'm going the top two. I'm going Wilson and Singletary. Connor's a close third. The rest of the guys are pretty far away for me. Just locked in. I mean, Singletary playing 80% of the snaps the last 2 weeks, and that dates back to last year, those last 7 games with the running back 2 in fantasy. When he gets the work, he thrives. I like Singletary a ton in this offense, missing playmakers, missing Isaiah McKenzie this week. Big fan of him. Big fan of Singletary. Big fan of Jeff Wilson. Again, 100% of the carries in this offense. Dustin Hopkins also out at kicker. I know I have him in a league, so another thing I'm just kind of noting for myself, but would have been a nice fill-in kicker. One thing I did not notice the Eagles kicker. I know Elliott's out, but their backup kicker, I think his name is like something like I'm gonna have to find it, but it was a great name that like would reinvigorate the locker room. Cameron Dicker.
Dicker the kicker. He went to Texas.
Big Dicker. Big Dicker, the big kicker. And third leg there, Cameron Dicker. So he wasn't on Yahoo last night. I was trying to pick him up everywhere because I was like, you can't not have Cameron Dicker walk in and have the locker room not completely respect him. So I'm bumping him into my top 10 kickers here. Don't know where he'll ultimately, if he's even available for pickup at this point, but he's kind of my new fill-in. If I'm lost all these guys and he's available. Have you seen, is he available in Yahoo yet? The kicker.
He was
what do you want me to say?
College football legend. It's funny that any moves around. Let me see.
I'm looking it up right now. Dicker.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's officially been added.
He's actually projected for almost 10 points. So.
Although it says I have to claim him in some leagues. I don't know.
He's actually on that for me too. So he's not available until Tuesday.
So you might not be able to play him, but if you can, good locker room presence for sure. But yeah, Dusty Hopkins is out. Just keeping that in mind. I was trying to run my rankings update. They're linked in the description here as we get to your question. If you want to pull those up, check out the rankings to help guide your questions. But I'm just updating those now, making sure I account for Hopkins out, McKenzie out. So I got all those notes. Again, big fan of Khalil Shakir as a punt, 3,200 on DraftKings if you need it.
Giuseppe, Everett, or Freiermuth? I'm sticking with Everett here.
I actually like the Fry. He was heavily peppered. My tight end 8 compared to my tight end 9 for Everett. So, I mean, locked in, like right neck and neck. But, yeah, I actually prefer the Fry here. Bills matchup's tough, though, so I can see the worry. But I'm going to go with the Fry.
Giuseppe again, Zeke, Montgomery, or Gibson, PPR.
And just as a heads up, folks, those rankings should now be updated. Hitting update. Alrighty, so the new rankings reflecting McKenzie should be now up. Looking at this one, Zeke, Monty, or Gibson. Definitely not Gibson, not with Robinson back. I'm going to go Zeke. Pollard's playing, but the Rams they're actually a pretty good run D. They're a horrible pass D. I do think Zeke has a decent shot for a touchdown bet, so I'm going to go Zeke there.
Russell Kaiser, half point PPR. T. Higgins. I mean,
he's supposed to play. You're playing Higgins. My wide receiver.
Oh, he asked down below. Higgins
or Daddy. I mean, Daddy could light it up today, but I'm not benching Higgins. No fucking way. Most points allowed to wide receivers. Give me Higgins tonight.
Giuseppe, Najee, Mostert, Monty, Mike Carter, Drake London. I mean, Drake.
Drake London in full PPR. Najee, that's how low the floor. I mean, the floor is okay. You're probably going to get 10, but the ceiling doesn't exist with Najee, especially against the Bills. Great defense all around. So I'm playing Drake London there. I think that game, playing comeback, that's kind of my stack of the week. Brady, Evans, Godwin, Drake London. Like I'm going to that on most of my DraftKings lineups today. So I'm buying Drake London, bouncing back this week because they're going to need it.
Yeah, I'm with you. That backfield's pretty gross that he has. Jeremiah Moore, St. Brown will play. Woohoo. I just dropped Josh Reynolds to pick up Rachaad White. I would do that.
I like the play. If you don't need Josh because you have St. Brown, like Rachaad White, everybody out there, please go pick up Rachaad White. I talked about this on the Thursday stream. He's my Hail Mary. Like, I think you could actually use him this week because the game flow will probably dictate some backup burn. But even if not, just the handcuff upside. Like, Rachaad White should not be on any waiver wires at all. Everybody out there, do yourself a favor. Hit that thumbs up for us, but also go get Rachaad White for sure. What's going on, Y2J? Happy Sunday indeed. Let's football. Let's get it, baby.
Russ Kaiser, good morning, fellas. Will JT overcome Matty Noodle Arm Ice and O-line woes this season?
I think so. I don't mind buying low on just the talent alone. We've seen even last year when Taylor had like a ridiculous season, he ultimately like second half. Giants TD, who scored? Giants touchdown. What's the score?
Gary Barnwell. What's his name? The backup running back.
Oh, the backup is so that's going to be interesting too to track because I haven't been able to watch the game. But Saquon got hurt. You said did it look bad?
Yeah, he's blue medical tent, shoulder injury, questionable to return.
Okay, so it's not the leg at least because leg we've seen him tear things. Shoulder's never great.
How are those perfect shoulders in trouble? I don't get it.
I know. Yeah. Well, if the perfect quads can get hurt, then anything can get hurt on that body. For Saquon. Here come the mimosas. We'll start talking about ESPN body issue the rest of the show. I do think he'll overcome it, though. Back to your question. We've seen slow starts from JT. It seems – I think this Colts offense with Pierce kind of emerging, I think they're going to start figuring it out, Russell. Gary Brightwell scoring the touchdown, though. It's a wonder, is it him? Is it Breida? Who's going to be getting the majority of snaps? So definitely something to track the second half of the game. Who's playing more? It sounds like Brightwell's at least getting the goal line work. But yeah, so I do think JT will overcome it.
Christian Watson also out with a hamstring injury. So Romeo up
even more for Romeo. He already was the star there, but yeah.
Campanelli agrees. Smash the hate cut on Russ.
Yeah, smash the hate cut. Get him out of your locker room. You don't need him around anymore.
Tunes, Henderson, Pickens, MVS, full PPR.
Pickens. I don't like any of those guys, but give me Pickens and hope that rapport with Pickett's the real deal because I think it is.
Brent Australia, Algier, K-Makers.
Algier, I don't want either of them. Like, this is one, I would legitimately start Khalil Shakir over either of these guys. Now, it might be a running back spot, and you can't do that. But if we're talking flex right now, I mentioned this Tunes when I was ranking him. I do have Shakir above Pickens. Now, you might have to cut somebody to pick up Shakir, and then it doesn't become worth it anymore. But as a 1 week play, I'm telling you, I really like Shakir. I think he's going to find the end zone, 7 to 8 catches, 3,200 on DraftKings. I'm definitely going to be going big on Shakir today.
Yeah, I like that. YTJ, can't believe I'm asking this, but Pat Fry or Taysom Hill?
Pat Fry. I mean, Taysom Hill definitely has the good touchdown upside every week, but Pat Fry saw a 35% target share last week. And that, like, I saw something on his routes. Like, he's targeted the second most on his routes behind only Mark Andrews so far this year. So, yeah, I mean, Fry's getting an insane volume workload, and he's looking damn good with it. There's no reason. Why are we not believing in Fry? Of all the tight ends, like, I think he's pretty locked in at this point.
Brent Australia, flex, Mike Gallup, Juju, or Josh Palmer?
I'm going to go Gallup, like, just more exciting. And Josh Palmer, again, banged up, didn't play all the snaps. Juju might not even play tomorrow. Let's get Gallup in. Let's give the guy a tryout. Number 2 in points allowed to wide receivers. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Tunes, Deontay, Daddy Davis, Hollywood, Reynolds. Pick 2 of these.
A lot of good options. Reynolds we can't consider when you got the names ahead of them. I'm probably going to bench Deontay there. A little nervous. 1, Pickett transitioning in and did not really look Deontay's way. Was much more into Pickens. But 2, you got the Bills, the number 1 defense against wide receivers. No quarterbacks put up more than 13 points against the Bills this year. That includes Lamar Jackson, who had 13 last week against them. So I'm going to go Daddy practicing in full, back to full strength. Hollywood seeing 28 targets the last 2 weeks. I'm going to go to those 2. The other ones have a little bit more risk, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Deontay as that alpha with Pickens. I mean,
I really don't think I do. Yeah.
West C, full PPR, flex, Amari or Bobby Woods or Mostert?
Let me just make sure I have. Yeah, I do have Daddy above Deontay too, 24 and 26. So just double checking that. I'm going to go Amari here. It's close with Bob Woods. A good matchup for Bob Woods. No real competition with no Treylon Burks. I don't think there's any reason to be afraid of the Chargers, though. They're not a great defense. And if anything, the Chargers will put up points, and that's the type of script you want Cooper in.
Yeah, and J.C. Jackson, I mean, he's very like Trayvon Diggs-ish, where he does get burnt a lot.
Yeah, a lot of that's a good comparison. Like, we'll certainly make a pick or 2 every game almost, like very opportunistic. But because he's so opportunistic, we'll often like leap for something that he shouldn't, bite on a route, whatever it might be. Cooper is very boomer bust. I mean, it's been 21-20 in half PPR or 3-1. So there's real no middle ground. If you're going with Cooper, you're hoping for the blow up. I think this is the type of week, though. 10 and 11 targets against Pittsburgh and New York Jets in close games. Atlanta was a close game, but like both teams were just like we're going to run the ball 60 times and get this game over with. I don't think that happens with the Chargers. I think there's more play volume, more targets. I think Cooper has a solid rebound effort today. So I'm going to go Cooper there. I'm not going to go Mostert. I know he's gotten more carries, but he hasn't done much with them. Like the work's there. He's just not doing a ton with it. So I go Cooper. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's that close, honestly.
Yeah. And then we answered this one already. We're going to go Teddy Bridge over Stafford for you, Giuseppe. Get the lineup, a fresh new injection. See if Bridgewater can kind of rally the boys. I would be okay dropping. It wasn't any. It was Algier. I forget who the other one was, but it was somebody I think it was Henderson. We said to drop. Have PPR Godwin or Gabe Davis. I kind of like Godwin. What about you, CJ?
So actually, Taylor just texted me. Our graphics guy just texted me the exact same question.
Oh man!
And I said, Wolf's thing of. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Godwin over Amon-Ra. But
no, I'm going Amon-Ra over.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think we just lock in Amon-Ra. He's earned that right. Talk about the respect of your locker room. Like when the guy's in, he's been a 14 target hog magnet. Like so, yeah. Give me him. I'm going to go Godwin over Gabe. It's real close, though. I have Godwin 22, Gabe 24. Like, this is close. But
I love Gabe this week.
I do, too.
I think we're getting that week one blow up, maybe 2 touchdowns.
They have no one else to throw to. I mean, no Knox, no Isaiah McKenzie. I get it. I absolutely get the Gabe love. But I just love Godwin stepping in 10 targets. Now he gets Atlanta. Last time he played Atlanta, do you know how many catches you and Godwin had the last time they played?
12.
15. 15 freaking catches the last time they faced the Falcons. He just destroys them. They put Terrell on Mike Evans, and Terrell, Mike Evans usually wins that. Like he'll probably get 590 touchdown at least. I think there's room for both those guys to eat. No Julio as well. Like, yeah, I'm going Godwin over Gabe. It's damn close, but I absolutely agree with you. Brady gets his boy a tutty. Agree 100% Wes. I think this is like Brady unleashing like all the divorce frustration, whatever's going on behind the scenes. Nobody likes these type of spots better than Brady. Like last year, he threw 5 and 4 touchdowns against the Falcons in their 2 matchups. He kind of just like, you should run the ball, and Brady will just be like, no, I'm padding my career stats today. I think that's what we're getting. Like, I think we're going to get one of those games. I love Brady today.
Tom's relieved he doesn't have to like make fake excuses about pretending to care about his family anymore.
Exactly. He doesn't have to pretend like he's a father at this point. I know. I absolutely love. I mean, both great plays. I'm going to lean Godwin very slightly though. Both huge upside. Another super chat. Thank you so much, Omar. Greatly appreciate it.
Needs 2 of these: Montgomery, Reynolds, and Gallup. Full PPR.
Yeah, I'm calling into the show when bullets aren't flying. Hopefully you're okay, Omar. God, thank you for the super chat.
Protect Omar and Denny at all costs.
Protect Omar. Denny. That's again my favorite like message in, and I'm only because you're okay, Denny. I'm sure you're tuned in, or maybe you're just pounding beer somewhere. Who knows? But when he was like live from the hospital, I just got shot. You're that committed to tuning in. You're an absolute legend, but holy hell, I hope you're okay. Thank God everything ended up okay. And hopefully you're okay, Omar, when the bullets aren't flying. Well, that might make for a more entertaining call-in, too. Let's get to your question, though. Need 2 for your flex spots. Montgomery, Reynolds, Gallup. Oh, man. I mean,
benching Reynolds there, I think.
I think I'm benching Reynolds, too, with St. Brown back. I think there's still plenty of room for both to eat, but I feel really good about Gallup today. 85% of the routes last week found the end zone. Cooper Rush is never going to be that high volume, but I like Gallup. I love the talent. I think it's a good matchup too. The Rams' second most points to wide receivers. He said you guys the bullets are actually just other people answering questions, not literal bullets. So we've had past events where people call in from like actually getting hit with a bullet. So I guess you're on the most hardcore show there is. I'm with you. I think I'm benching Reynolds here. The backfield, I think I go Montgomery over Shakir. I'm like, do I play Shakir over these guys? I don't know. 4th most points allowed to backs. You know they're going to try to just pound the rock, the Bears are. It's just a coin flip. Like, are they going to keep riding Herbert, who's been really impressive so far, or do they get Montgomery, who was their bell cow prior to injury, right back into that role, or do we just get a 50-50 disgusting split? That's probably what it's going to be, but still okay bet for a touchdown. So I'm with you, CJ. You said benching Reynolds. I think we're aligned there.
Yeah, I'm benching Reynolds out of this there.
He's been such a freaking beast these last 3 weeks, though. Reynolds has. That's tough. You didn't mention if it's full PPR or not. I don't know if that changes it anyways, though. I'm benching Reynolds. And Saquon's back in with a big run, it sounds like, too. So good. Everybody out there can breathe a big sigh of relief if you have Saquon. Who knows what's going on? I really want to watch this freaking game, but we will continue on with your questions, Wolfpack, because we are that selfless. We care more about your questions than being entertained ourselves. So shoot us some super chats. Shoot us at least that thumbs up to help your boys out here continue to grow. We left off on Giuseppe. We answered that one. We answered Godwin or Daddy. Wentz or Stafford is where we left off. I think this is where I draw the line. I stick to Stafford. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo has the Commander stack this week on DraftKings, which I do like, but
don't hate it at all, especially with no Thomas now, even more condensed. I don't hate the DraftKings play. We've seen it. 27 points in the first 2 weeks for Wentz, back-to-back, 27-27. Then we saw 7 and 7 too. The floor is so scary with Wentz that I think you're going to at least get 12, 13, 14 from Stafford, which is just gross. Usually like a 20-point lock. I don't know. But I actually kind of like that game as like a gross shootout potential too. I'm going Stafford here though. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I hate Stafford, but I love Stafford, but I just hate him right now. I'll go Stafford. I'll follow you there.
Yes. Wes, hey, that was not a repeat from Thursday. Derailed into Mike Williams hate. That's right. I remember you were hating on him. He's been damn. He's been okay. I get it's frustrating, but he's been 3 out of the 4 weeks. He's gotten you enough. I know that one touchdown, like 8-point day was shitty, but Mike Williams with no Keenan is a lock. You can't not have Mike Williams with no Keenan in your life.
Yeah, of course. Jeremiah Moore, I need to start 2 running backs, half PPR. Pierce, Wilson, Gibson, ETN.
Not ETN. Let's start there. You're going the first 2. Dameon Pierce and Jeff Wilson. Just much more secure. Gibson now with Robinson there. Can't trust him. So, yeah, we're locking in those top 2.
Evan Buss, Hollywood, Mike Williams, Olave. Jeez.
Oh, man, I just said Mike Williams is the lock, and then you come in with a question from the top rope, Buss, like this. Holy shit. I still think I'm going Mike here. But Olave is at full PPR without Landry, without Mike Thomas. Whew. I mean, I don't know. This is hard. I'm going to go Mike Williams. He's seen 11 targets in, the weeks without Keenan multiple times. So I'm going to stick with the guy catching balls from Herbert instead of the guy catching balls from Dalton.
Yeah, I think if it was Jameis, I'd probably go Olave, but I'm going Mike Williams.
Yeah, we'll stick to Mike, but that's damn close. Whew, that's a good one, Buss.
Bulldog.
This was the super chat we got from Bulldog. And again, just to reiterate, Bulldog, if you can wait it out, do that. If your league doesn't allow roster training, it's Robinson for Tunyon, Robinson for Hurst. But if your league allows you to hold on to the guys that have already played, let's watch it develop and then make a play.
Millie C, Taysom or Schultz?
Schultz can't keep being this bad, can he?
I have Schultz back in the starting lineup this week. I'm just going to keep going with him.
He'll definitely be better. He'll be better when Dak comes back, of course. But yeah, I'm going to go Schultz too. Don't love it, but I'm going Schultz.
Anthony Ruffin, good morning. Pick 3, 1 receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex PPR. Evans, Godwin, J-Rob, Pierce, London, Dalvin Cook.
Okay, so for receiver, you're locking in Evans. Running back, you're locking in James Robinson against Houston. Love that play today. Top 10 running back for me this week. I can't bench Dalvin Cook against the Bears. I mean, if he doesn't get it done this week, when the hell is he going to get it done? They're going to have the right game script all game. It's not a good defense. This would be really bad if Dalvin Cook can't do it today.
Man, Madison getting that touchdown last week pissed me off too.
So fucking annoying. Oh my God.
I do put Cook in your flex.
Send him exactly.
Make him earn it a little bit.
Demote him to the flex, right? Exactly. Let him earn his running back spot. Oh, another touchdown. Saquon touchdown from the long touchdown. How long?
Nothing, like 5 yards. I'm watching
5 yards. Yeah. Wow. So the Giants are up on the Packers. Holy shit. Okay. We got ourselves a London game. Campanelli's going nuts in the background there. The Collins. Hill's going nuts in the background over there. Giants fans actually have things to root for. I don't like this, CJ. I don't fucking like this.
They're back.
Holy shit. Are the Giants back? Dayball's the man. I said is the best coaching hire of the offseason. He's the fucking man. All right, let's see how this goes. Here we go. I think it's a little premature early celebration here for you Giants fans. We know how Rodgers does it at the end of games, but let's see.
YTJ, PPR, Fry, Logan Thomas, Hurst, Hill.
I'm going Fry, 100%. Like, Fry has earned this. Fry's good. Logan Thomas ain't playing, Brent, so we're going Evan Ingram there, I guess. And similar here is McKenzie's not playing, Brent. David. You guys are giving us too easy. So McKenzie and Logan Thomas both out, so that makes those ones easy. Jay Jones and Evan Ingram. All righty.
Start Khalil Herbert, ETN, Moore, Elijah Moore, and DJ Moore.
How crazy is it that like DJ Moore and Elijah Moore, I just look at and I shudder. Like two solid receiver talents, especially DJ Moore, that I want nothing to do with.
It's horrible. Yeah.
I also don't want anything to do with ETN. Like, I think I'm going Khalil Herbert, just kind of hoping he remains like the 60-65% lead back here as they ease in. Montgomery might not be the case, but the matchup against the Vikings is juicy. Fourth most points allowed to backs. I'm going to go Khalil here. I just don't trust either of those receivers. It's half PPR too, so it's not like you'd get like an 8-catch, 40-yard day from Elijah Moore and still be worthwhile. So I'm going to go Herbert. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, these receivers just in their quarterback situation, it's just very frustrating. I'm not going to start him this week, but ETN is on the rise for me. And
why?
Starting to Jackson had his buy low, sell high. He kind of noticed how ETN starting to steal snaps away from James Robinson. I like the talent better than James Robinson. Better pass catcher. Could have a little breakout week this week. Good matchup. I'm an ETN guy. I love ETN.
I am so off on ETN. Like, I get the rising snap share in a game where they were down all last week. Makes sense. And then Jamal Agnew goes and catches 2 touchdowns, moved into the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they're going to use Agnew over him on those, like every time Agnew caught a touchdown, it was like a wheel route out of the backfield. I don't know why that's not ETN, but it's clearly not. I'm so out on ETN.
I swear he's been in that doghouse since he dropped that touchdown pass in week 1. He should have had He should have had 2 touchdowns and like 25 points in week 1.
I'm off. If he gets dropped, I will stash him, but I'm not trying. Yeah. And I love Jackson. I love Jackson's articles. Like he smashes his buy low, sell high. Like he hits that at a very, very good clip. I'm not on the ETN one. That's one I do disagree with. I just I don't think
it was a sell high on James Robinson more than a buy low on
okay.
ETN.
I actually really so we're on opposite ends because I think it's I saw some offers, like somebody traded Robinson for like dubs and change the other day. Come on.
That's
I don't think, and obviously dynasty maybe, but like not in regular. Again, thank you for those super chats. We'll continue moving forward. The Bulldog and DMD though wanted to shout you out again. Thank you for that super chat. A free way to help us out is that thumbs up button. We're at 12:10. Say in about 10 minutes, I'll hit the rapid fire, but let's continue forward, folks.
Apex, Palmer, Elijah, or Brandon Ayuk. So
I'm gonna go Ayuk there. Again, don't love any of the three, but Ayuk has the best like lid lifting, blow up your matchup type of potential. So I'm gonna go with him. What's the score there? They up now, right?
It's 27-20.
Wow.
5:26 to go.
Woohoo! We got a game. All righty. Kirk or Sutton rest of the season? I'm gonna go. Sutton's been such a target hog, but like, and again, words I never thought I'd want to like, utter out of my mouth. I would way rather be tied to a Jags Trevor Lawrence offense than I would a Russ Wilson
me too.
Broncos offense right now. So I'm gonna go Kirk rest of the season. What about you?
Yeah, I know my Jaguars. The highest paid. my guy Christian Kirk just setting the market at the receiver position. Worth every penny of it.
He really he joked so much about the deal. Like he really has been great.
He has. Yeah, I think I'd go Kirk, especially with Russ having that like fake surgery that he had 2 days ago. I'm gonna go Kirk rest of the season.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's recent tweet about like you have to go through hell to like come through hell or some stupid shit. It was like we're going through hell, Russ, as fantasy owners.
Yes.
You're putting us in the torture chamber right now.
Just incredible. DJ Johnson, either a Pitts replacement, half PPR, Taysom, Gesicki, Hurst, Disley, Kate Otten.
I'm gonna lean Hurst here again. I like he just seems the steadiest of these guys. I like that you brought up Kate Otten though. Like, if I have space and I need a tight end, not a bad stream and at least a stash. No break. We're seeing Break get a nice roll these last couple of weeks. Otton stepped right in and got like 2 targets on his 10 routes. The guy's a player, and Brady's been praising him lately. I actually don't mind stashing Otton, seeing what happens. Certainly in Dynasty, if you're watching this, go check and see if Otton's out there. But I'm playing Hurst over any of these guys. Are you with me there? They're all kind of the same tier. He seems like the better.
I guess Hurst. He looked really good last week in that Thursday night game. Taysom kind of, I fucking hate Taysom, but I can see with all those injuries that he could do something today. Maybe run some Wildcat. I'd probably go Taysom for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think I would too. Hunter Henry, Ingram, or the Saints tight ends. I think I go Hunter Henry against Detroit. I think there's going to be goal line work. I think this is where we see him come out for a touchdown, maybe even 2. So I'm going to go Hunter Henry over those other guys. What about you?
I like Hunter Henry.
I do love the Saints matchup, but it's just there's 2 of them, and if Taysom Hill was getting receiving tight end work and then also getting that weird Wildcat role, he'd be probably a top 10 tight end in fantasy. But Juwan Johnson's the receiver. He's kind of the goal line plunger, and it just makes both of them kind of sketchy plays, in my opinion. DJ
Johnson at PPR, Godwin, and Curtis Samuel.
I do love Curtis today, but I'm going Godwin 10 out of 10 times here.
Yeah.
It's tight end, the wide receiver 6 last year, now stepping into a higher target share with no Gronk. Everybody else is hurt around him other than him and Evans. Like, him and Evans are going to have field days today. So, yeah, give me Godwin.
DJ again, have PPR, J-Rob, Jamal, Jeff Wilson.
Good options. I kind of want to say J-Rob against Houston. What about you?
Yeah, that's who I'm with.
Jamal's damn close. And Jeff Wilson's not far
Houston
behind.
just gets destroyed on the ground.
They really do. I mean, 32nd, and it's by like, I think they're giving up like 30 more yards on the ground than the next. This is the epitome of a James Robinson game script. Like,
yeah, that's what it was with Eckler last week. Before that was Khalil
3
Herbert.
touchdowns from Eckler. I have Robinson 9, Williams 10, so I just confirmed in my rankings. That's how I reflect it too. I'm all in on Robinson this week.
Tunes, Conklin, K-Dot, and Disley, Taysom.
I guess Conklin. I mean, Cade for the upside. I just can't get behind Disley. Again, I know he's the tight end 7. I know he scored 3 out of 4 weeks, and I feel like the day you go to use him is the day you get 1 catch for 5 yards. And you're just like, fuck this piece of shit.
I'd probably go Taysom out of this group.
Yeah, I like Conklin.
They all suck. Roman Arguello. Need to make room for a kicker who's droppable. Mariota.
Mariota. Yeah, I don't think we have to.
Oh wait, it is super flex. But.
I fucking hate Mariota either way. I'll never go back to him. If they have a script where they will only throw the ball 7 times in a game, that floor is just I can't ever go at that. So I'm looking at these other options. No, drop Josh Allen.
He has two defenses. So.
If you have 2 defenses, you never need 2 defenses. You don't need the Saints and 49ers. Keep the 49ers. I guess you can keep Mariota because you, again, should never have 2 defenses. But you can also cut Mariota, and pick something else up. But, gross. Yeah, but, definitely cut 2 defenses, I guess, in Superflex. Keep Mariota in that case, but screw Mariota. We'll never use him again.
DJ Johnson at PPR, receiver 3, Wilson, Ayuk, Rondale.
Garrett Wilson. I mean, I know he didn't have his best day with Zach Wilson back, but he is just so talented. I think those 2 will work it out. Do you agree with Wilson over Ayuk? It's not wrong.
I don't know. I said it last. I hate the Zach Wilson thing. Now it's like Corey Davis is receiver 1 there.
Yeah, Corey Davis back to his throne.
Disgusting.
It does suck.
I mean, out of this group, I guess Wilson has the highest big play ability. Rondale may last a play or 2.
Miami's going to have a shitload of receivers too.
Yeah, that is true.
Most allowed. I like that atmosphere to be a sneaky shootout. Ayuk is just it's too inconsistent. If they can run the ball 70 times, they'll run the ball 70 times. And against Carolina, I mean, I don't think they're going to have any problem just bleeding clock. We might get 90 total plays from that game. It might just be bleeding clock all day.
That's very true.
Juan
Pena, Jamal Williams, Connor, Duvernay, Garrett Wilson, or Thielen for your flex.
I'm going to go Jamal Williams. Yeah. He's locked. Jamal Williams. Thank you, Austin, for reminding us that share. That stuff truly does go a long way for us, Wolfpack. Please do consider that. Thank you, Austin, for shouting it out for the Wolfpack here.
Marcos Valdez, Scanling, half PPR, Waddle, Olave, Godwin, Kamara, and
Woo!
Williams. Sit one of these.
One has to find the bench. Oh man, I don't want to bench any of these guys. I think it comes down to I can't bench Kamara or Williams. I'm locking in those guys. I'm giving Kamara his last stab.
Waddle was my first.
Me too.
I think
Waddle was my first. He didn't have a great first game with Teddy. That being said, maybe they put on Sauce Gardner onto Tyreek, and then it becomes like a classic Waddle 15 catch a day. Like those two are just alternating monster days. So I do have a hard time benching Waddle too. But yeah, I mean, gun to my head, that's the guy that popped up for me too. I don't know though.
Yeah, but would you? I was gonna. Yeah, but would you also trust? I think I'd trust Bridgewater more than Dalton, and so I like Waddle and Olave kind of similar as talents. But I don't know. Maybe Olave.
This is really hard. I mean, these are good options. I think Godwin. Maybe just bench Godwin, because what if something flares up? It's not like there's. I think the risk wise, Godwin's the highest risk. Despite I love the play this week, but like Godwin and Kamara are the two riskiest. I can't bench Kamara in a prime matchup with all the receivers banged up. I'm benching Godwin here. I am. Oh, that's tough though. That's fucking hard. Am I not, CJ? Who's your final call? Who are you benching?
I think it's Olave. To tell the truth. I think I trust Teddy more than Dalton, and I like the talents just as much. Like the same.
He's got nobody to compete with at wide receiver today. I mean,
which could be an issue.
You think they just sell out? The Seahawks will stop him. The Seahawks aren't stopping shit. No, we're going. All right. I mean, I'm benching Godwin. He's benching Olave. Let us know what you decide, Marcos, for sure.
First or half PPR, start one of these. Wilson, Woods, Higbee.
I gotta go Higbee. Oh no. Full. It's a flex.
Start
okay.
one. I'm going Wilson.
Wilson, yeah. Rock out Wilson. And I like all the options, but yeah, Jeff Wilson. I mean, again, all the running back carries out of this backfield. So yeah, I'm going him.
JP, hey, I really need help.
All right, we'll do our best, JP.
Who do I start in half PPR? Pick two of these: Brees, Stevenson. It's the first two for me. Actually, no, it's Singletary, Dobbins. Seems like I picked the wrong two guys. What happens?
I mean, I can see why you picked the wrong two guys. I'm going to tell you this. And this is not a joke. I'm looking at my rankings right now. I have Ramondre 20, Brees Hall 21, J.K. Dobbins 23, and Singletary 19. So 19, 20, 23, and 21. 19, 20, 21, 23. I mean, literally the only guy mixed in there is Najee Harris too. So they are just in order. And again, it went in order. Singletary 1, Ramondre 2, Brees 3, Dobbins 4. All four of them could have 2 touchdowns today. Like they're all great options. They're all in the same tier. They all have good matchups. Oh man, that's tough. Like I think I'm good. I have him ranked Singletary and Ramondre, so that's what I'm going to go with. I love Brees this week though, and I really like Dobbins with Justice Hill banged up. Like I love all 4 of these guys.
Yeah, I think I'm going Singletary, Brees.
Who are you going?
I think Singletary, Brees. Even though I don't want to bench Stevenson. I think Dobbins, those touchdowns are fluky last week. I don't know. I'm gonna go Brees Singletary.
I don't know if it's good service or bad service, but Hillary just keeps walking by and refilling my glass with more Prosecco. We got to finish this is our second bottle, isn't it? You have to finish your third bottle.
You have a minute 11. You have a minute 11 to finish that bottle.
All right. Yeah, deal. Good God. I rank him Singletary Stevenson. You say Brees Stevenson. I mean, Dobbins could have a huge. Oh, you say Brees Singletary.
Brees Singletary.
So I guess we're both in agreement. We're playing Singletary today. And then it comes down to who you want to go. That Lions matchup, the way they're going to attack them, I'm going Ramondre. That's a great JP. I can see why you need help. Like that's a good problem to have, but a very tough one to sift through.
It's JP and Juan Pena, the same person. Thielen, Garrett Wilson, or Duvernay from a receiver too.
I'll go Thielen here. I know I was shitting on him a little bit earlier, but I like him. Those guys.
My guy. Sebastian Alex, should I flex Juju or Duvernay? Juju, I guess.
Juju if he's playing, but yeah, I guess that gives you tonight to kind of get any more reads on Juju.
Would you go Khalil here?
Maybe you just play. No, I like Duvernay enough because there's no Bateman likely tonight. So I think Duvernay, like as the wide receiver 1, has some good upside. I actually have to bump him up in the rankings a bit.
Bill Jagier, half PPR flex, Pickens, Zay, Rondale.
I'm going to go Pickens really close, though. What do you got going on, Hills?
Packers just turned it over.
At pretty much the goal line.
And they turned it over?
Get it!
Wow.
Get it!
Oh, man. I saw Campanelli going nuts in the Collins, too. Big stuff for
There's a minute left.
the Giants, so they can just bleed the clock at this point?
We surround ourselves with way too many Giants fans.
Yeah, way too many Giants fans. I don't know how that happened, that we have so many Giants fans in our lives and on our streams, but damn. I'm going to go Pickens over Zay, though. I'm not even considering Rondale.
Yeah,
All righty. CJ, I'm going to fire up the rapid fire. We have a shitload more questions, and we got to get out of here by 12:40 because McKenzie's out, my kicker's out. Like, I have a lot of shit I got to go figure out, too. So, Wolfpack, as I hit this rapid fire, one last plea for your thumbs up button. Start Duvernay, you sure could. Depends on the other options, KTC Bull. Andrea Stylslowski. Good to see you, Andrea. Hollywood Brown, Olave, Damian Pierce, PPR. You need a flex 1. I'm going Olave over Marquise Brown. I'm worried about that matchup with those corners, as good as the target share has been. And I think Pierce could get game flowed out. How do you feel about trading Zach Ertz, Aaron Rodgers? I can't do that trade. Sorry, JP. If you want a trade analysis, feel free to send a super chat. I'm happy to hit it, but we got way too many questions. I can't dig into a trade right now, unfortunately. Ingram or Otten? I'm going to go Ingram very slightly. Elliott, Algier, or Palmer in the flex half PPR. I'm going to go Elliott there. Mordenheim 1. Michael Ramos, good morning. Is McKenzie? He's not playing, so I guess you have only Etienne, but I personally would go Khalil Shakir over Etienne today. St. Brown or Kirk? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go St. Brown, but if you really don't need that risk, Kirk is my 15, St. Brown's my 13. Who should I start my flex? Najee Harris or McLaurin? I'm going to go McLaurin. I absolutely love him today. Thanks. What about Ertz or Gerald Everett? I'm going Ertz definitely over Everett, even though I do love Everett today. Should I start Montgomery? Maybe, but it's a tough, it really tough right now. Should I start DJ Moore or Ayuk? Neither. Montgomery over Gibson slightly, but Moore slightly over Ayuk. Don't love any of those 4 options. Sorry, Ardez. Standard receiver with McKenzie out. Do you start Renfro or Ayuk? Standard, probably Ayuk, and hope for the big play. Do I start Amon-Ra St. Brown or DK Metcalf? Ooh, brutal one. I'm going to go Amon, but man, DK, love that DK's alive with Geno Smith right now. Saquon to locker room, apparent shoulder. We've seen him come back, but thank you for keeping us posted, David, since then. Good morning, PPR. Wilson or Dobbins? I'm gonna go Wilson. I don't think Bateman being out really hurts like Dobbins or helps Dobbins, but yeah, I'm still going Jeff Wilson. Just much safer, steadier right now. Thank you, Philip. I'm glad you love the show. And if you love the show, thumbs up button, subscribes, all mean the world. Would you start Connor or Rashad White? I would start Connor, but I love having Rashad White on the bench right now. Najee Harris and McLaurin and flex. We're going McLaurin for that one. Should I drop Judy or Ayuk for Renfro? Nah, I don't think so. I like both those guys just a little bit more. If it's full PPR, you can consider Ayuk, though, Texas. Thanks, as always, for the hype. Full PPR, flex, Zeke or Connor. I'm going Connor there, David. Waddle or St. Brown. I'm going St. Brown. Yo, Wolf and CJ with Montgomery back. Should I bench Herbert for Devonta Smith? Yes, I would do that. Which defense? Titans or Chargers? Titans against the football team. I can never trust the Chargers again. They got me -4 and I lost by 1. PPR, Damian Pierce or Kareem Hunt, leaning Pierce. I would too, but I do really like Hunt today. I like Pierce more. Both really good options. Brian Robinson or Cam Akers, full PPR. Oh, God. I guess Akers, but do not like any of them to have to start. But I think Akers, you got a decent goal line roll. Getting the refill over there, I love it. Flex Montgomery, Juju, MVS, or Everett. Oh, Montgomery, maybe Everett. I don't know, Jake. Don't love any of this. What do you think, Everett or Montgomery, CJ? You're muted. There you are.
Everett.
All right, Everett from CJ, Montgomery from me. Start 2, half PPR. Samuel, Bob Woods, or Higbee. I think I bench Higbee here. Even though that target share is very sustainable, I just really like both the other options, Matt. Cousins, Jefferson stack, or Carr in a possible shootout? I'd stack him up, I think. No, I'd actually go Carr. I have Carr above Cousins this week. Amon's pretty much a must-start for me, Chance. I can't bench him right now. Allison Mussini, happy Sunday. Corey Davis or Elijah Moore? I mean, kind of seems like Corey Davis is the boy for Zach Wilson. Moore is so damn talented, though. I have Moore one spot ahead of Davis. Neck and neck, and I don't love either. Maybe Khalil Shakir over either, to be honest. Morning Jets, morning Trey S. But if you're going one of the Jets, I go Moore. Morning Jets, full PPR, start 2. Olave, definitely starting. Kareem Hunt, Devonta Smith, Etienne. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt, Trey S. for the other options. You're welcome. Full PPR, start 2 with most upside. Russ and Judy killed me. Oh, that's brutal. For the upside, I do think it's Harris, and I think it's Singletary. Like you're hoping for 2 touchdowns out of your running back. I think both those guys offer the highest 2-touchdown upside. Glad to know you were not meaning literal bullets, Omar. But speaking of bullets, Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson. I don't know what a bud is, but maybe A-Rob. Brian Robinson, Cam Akers, Ken Walker, or drop Walker for Burkhead. I might go Robinson, just hope he finds the end zone there. Cam Akers. I just go Cam Akers. Saquon's back. Good to see. A huge 30-yard reception, so looking good. Good. We can all breathe a sigh of relief for Saquon. Merritt or Garoppolo today? Garoppolo, don't love either, though. Bailey Zappi over both. How about that? You play Mariota over Bailey Zappi?
No, I'd go Garoppolo over Zappi.
I wouldn't go either. Garoppolo fucking sucks. Bailey Zappi, baby.
Zappi sucks.
I love this question. Josh Allen or Zappi? Zappi. No, obviously Josh Allen. I know you're.
I can't wait. I can't wait for someone to clip that and send it to me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. This guy recommended Bailey Zappi over Josh Allen. Like, no. Obviously, I know Jeremiah's joking, and we're joking too. Dylan's killing me. Dylan is frustrating as all hell. He was my lower on my higher lower Hail Mary this week was AJ Dillon, and showing why right now. Hurts or Juwan Johnson? Oh, Hurst or Juwan Johnson. I'm going Hurst there, Mike Clay. Bench Dillon for Pierce, but Jones is killing me. Would you start Montgomery over Zeke this week? No, I would not. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Chris Olave? I'm going St. Brown, but that's real tough. I mean, if you need just a nice higher floor, Olave is definitely safer this week.
Hold on. We have Bill Romanowski in the chat?
Bill Romanowski got shot?
No, in the chat right now. Look.
No, this isn't the actual Bill Romanowski.
It could be.
Could be. I mean, love the player. Hope it is actually Bill Romanowski. Absolute savage on the field. So Bill Romanowski showing up. The real Bill Romanowski, I hope. Wondering if you play Montgomery or Antonio Gibson. I play Montgomery, but I don't love either today. Drake London or Gabe Davis? Oh, Dan, I have him. I had London higher entering the day, and I've bumped the daddy up as the day. That's typically what happens for me, and it hasn't been right. But the more I think about benching Gabe Davis, the more it hurts my soul. So I bumped up Davis 23, Drake London 24. Couldn't be closer, Dan Dwyer, but we're going daddy. Daddy Davis. Zeke or Garrett Wilson? Oh, Giuseppe, I'm going Zeke. I don't love it. B. Cooks, Monty, or Reynolds? I'm going to go Brandon Cooks, and I don't love it today, though. Juju or Garrett Wilson? I'm going Garrett Wilson. Thanks, boys. Good luck to you as well, DJ Johnson. Thanks for being here, as always. Daggers, Ayuk, Njoku, Mostert. No, I actually kind of like Njoku there, weirdly. St. Brown or Devonta Adams? Devonta Adams, definitely. I mean, that's one of the few times that I do bench St. Brown today. Can't play Robinson, R. White, or Palmer over Pickens, right? I don't know who Robinson is. Brian Robinson, no. No. Maybe White. Probably not, though. Did we get a super chat? Daniel Colkeen, my bad. I just saw that pop up. The Meat Sweats is checking in, giving us some support. I greatly appreciate Daniel Colkeen. Good to see you, Meat Sweats. Ramondre, Jeff Wilson, Gabe Davis. One running back, one flex. Who you going with? CJ, this is a tough one. The running back's Jeff Wilson for me. Then it comes down to Gabe Davis or Ramondre for the flex.
I'm going Gabe.
Oh,
Gabe's a touchdown lock today.
I don't know. He's been disappearing on us.
He has, but he practiced in full for the first time since week 1. I'm back.
I love the way he's trending. I love all 4 of these options. That's why it's hard. It's not because I dislike 2 who I dislike more. I love them all. I'm going Wilson. I'm going Ramondre. Unless it's full PPR, then maybe Gabe Davis comes in there. I think the Pats running backs combined for 3 touchdowns. I don't know how they'll be dispersed, but somebody's scoring 2, somebody's scoring 1, maybe 2 score like twice. That's how bad Detroit is, how good these running backs are. Giants win. Wow. I'm benching Gabe here. That's close though, Daniel. Thank you so much for the support. I wish we could be in agreement locked in for you. So are you going Wilson, and is like Wilson your lock, or are you going Ramondre over Wilson?
It's tough. I'm going Wilson and Gabe.
The thing with Wilson is like he's got to find the end zone because he doesn't catch the ball. He can catch the ball, he just doesn't, like in this offense right now. So if he doesn't get the end zone, and I think he does. That's why I'm high on him this week. They're facing Carolina. They're bad.
See, but Damien also is more of the goal line back than Ramondre.
Of course. Damien will definitely score twice today, probably. But Ramondre gets some goal line work too, and he catches the ball. Like he's been
he'll 4 receptions or so.
I'm going the 2 running backs. I feel good about it too. But thank you so much, Daniel, for the support. It is greatly appreciated. And we left off with
we got another super chat at 12:33.
Oh, okay. Kyle Freeman, thank you so much. Muth versus Conklin. I feel good about Muth. I know the Bills a scary matchup, but Muth is right around a 30% target share so far this year. As mentioned, like there's only 2. I think Mark Andrews is the only tight end that's averaging more targets per route right now than Muth. So I feel too good about that. Conklin had an okay day with Zach Wilson, like 50 yards, 5 catches, like not bad for a tight end, but I feel better about Muth. More touchdown upside, just as involved in the pass catching. So Kyle, thank you so much. Do you go Muth over Conklin? Do you agree with that one, CJ?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not trusting Conklin.
Awesome. Bill Romanowski, can you confirm? Are you the real Bill Romanowski? You're welcome. We're glad to answer it, especially if you're the real Bill Romanowski. All righty. We left off Drake London, Gabe Davis. So we were right here with Andrea thanking us. Thank you for being here. Debo or St. Brown? I go Debo there, Ryan Hansen. Man, I don't know how you can't have both in, but I go Debo there. Lamar or Mahomes? How did this end up being a thing? How do you have both these guys and it's not 2 QB and you can't play both? I go Mahomes. Lamar, Cincy, third least points, definitely shootout atmosphere tonight. I do like that, but I think there's also a shootout atmosphere for the Raiders and Chiefs, and Mahomes just destroys the Raiders each and every year. So I'm going to go Mahomes. I think he throws like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm going Mahomes.
Njoku or Josh Reynolds? I'm going to go Josh Reynolds for the flex. Gabe Davis over Duvernay. Yeah, 100% Gabe Davis over Duvernay. Monte or Zeke? I'm going to go Zeke there, Sam. Sam Dracoff. Sorry, I didn't get to your text. We have a chaos right now with a ton of questions, Sam. I saw you texted me, but I can't text at the same time right now. So I'm going to go Zeke over Monty. The matchup's better for Monty, but I wouldn't be shocked at all to see Khalil Herbert dominate the snaps and the touches there. Half PPR stays the same for me. I'm going to go Zeke there. Miami or Titans? I'm going to go Miami's defense there, Steven, against the Jets. Zach Wilson always done with the ball. Flex Zay Jones or Etienne? I'm going to go Zay Jones. Just much clearer workload there. I don't buy Etienne at all until I see it right now. Question is, St. Brown a decoy? Might be, but I don't think so. I don't think with the bye next week, Antonio, I think you're kind of answering the question for me. Why would they put him out as a decoy if they were worried at all? They're just putting him out there to put him out there? Nah. That can happen at receiver, I guess. Running back is a little bit less. You can't just have a decoy running back. You're taking hits at running back. So maybe there's that risk. I just don't think they'd put him out there at all. We saw how they're treating Swift. I don't think they'd put somebody out there in harm's way if they were worried. So I'm in on St. Brown. I don't think he's going to be a decoy. Reynolds, Cooks, or Renfro, pick 2. I'm going to bench Renfro there and believe it when I see it type of thing. Thank you again, Daniel Culkeen, for the super chat. Personally, again, I'm benching Gabe Davis. CJ's benching Mondre. Great options all around. Good problem to have. A lot of upside, too, though. That's the tough part of that question is, the wrong answer could, go for 15 more than the right. It could be a bad call. But love them all. St. Brown or Kirk? I'm going St. Brown. 13, Kirk 15. If you just need safety, if you're a favorite, then you just go Kirk and ride the points. But otherwise, I'm going St. Brown. Smith or Wilson? I'm guessing I don't know which Smith or which Wilson, Antonio. So try to confirm that. There's a lot of Smiths and a lot of Wilsons in the NFL right now. Olave or St. Brown? I'm going St. Brown. It's similar preface to the St. Brown or Kirk one, though. If you just want safety, Olave's playing the whole game. We've seen 10 targets. I'm just like, I have St. Brown, and there's no way in hell I'd ever bench him. If he's in, and I'm playing him. That's kind of how I view it. Jags or Philly D? Ooh, tough one. I'm going to go Jags, though. I love that matchup today. Everett or Deontay? I stick with Deontay, even though it is a risk. Tough matchup. Didn't get a don't pick it last week. Historically, they just pepper the slot, so I can't bench him. Kamara or Damian Harris? I'm going to stick with Kamara there, but, 12 and 15 in my rankings, like very close. But I'm going to stick to Kamara. Good morning, guys. St. Brown or Higgins? I'm going Higgins there, Mark. That's one of the few times I will go someone over Amon-Ra. Mike Williams or Amon-Ra? Man, how are you guys like having to decide between these? Like, why do you have to bench one of them? You guys must have ridiculous teams. Maybe it's 10 team. Maybe you just drafted like a fucking insane one. I have Amon one spot above Mike. Am I nuts, CJ? There's unnecessary risk to it. I get that, but like,
I think it's one of those, if you're down, I think if you need the explosion, you go Mike Williams always. But also, I don't know. We don't know we're getting out of Amon.
There's no, like, you haven't seen any reports on like Amon being lesser used, right?
No, nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride it out. Sorry we missed this one, Senor Rojo. A super chat. Thank you so much for your support. A-Rob or Renfro? Oh God. Can I say Khalil Shakir? Like, is he out there in your league, Senor Rojo? Because I would much rather have Khalil Shakir.
I think I'd go Renfro there.
Yeah, I'm not playing A-Rob. I'll tell you that much. Never trusting A-Rob right now. So I'd go Renfro if I have to, full PPR. Like, that's okay. I'd go Khalil Shakir over either of these options if you can like cut him without huge repercussions to your bench. I would go Shakir over either of these guys, but if not, I'm going to go Renfro. Definitely in PPR. I buy that upside. Gibson or Montgomery? Montgomery slightly. I've done that one a couple times, so I just want to make sure my rankings reflect Montgomery over Gibson. I just think Robinson's going to be pretty involved from the get here. Yeah, I have Gibson 32, Montgomery 33. I'm just swapping them. And Khalil Herbert 31. Just an absolute mess right there. Godwin or Kirk? I'm going Kirk, very, very slightly, Alec. Connor or Montgomery? I'm going to go James Conner there, Orlando. What up, Khalil Seagal? QB1, Burrow or Goff? I'm going to go Burrow for sure. That Raven secondary is banged up and horrendous. Gabe Davis or Lockett Apex? Man, I love them both, but I'm going to go Gabe Davis and hope for a big rebound. Juju, Etienne, Montgomery, pick 2. I'm benching Etienne. Don't love Juju either way. I'd rather have Khalil Shakir. Dolphins or Cowboys? Cowboys defense, I think, are going to feast today. Just destroy them. What's up, D. Lorenzo? Great to see you, man. Pick 2. Herbert, E. Moore, D. Smith. Benching E. Moore there, Jared. Thanks, guys. Have a great Sunday. Senor Rojo, thank you for the support. You have a great Sunday as well. And Wolfpack, that brings us to 12:40. It's right when we like to sign off anyways. That's the questions. Other than D. Lorenzo, our boy, we'll get it for you. Juju or Rachaad White? I'm actually going Rachaad White here, thinking that they get up big early. They use Rachaad White late. He's got all the goal line snaps last week anyways. I think we get a goal line plunge from Rachaad White, maybe even a goal line reception for him. So I'm going White over Juju. Am I nuts, CJ?
No, I'll ride with you with Rachaad White, but that's one I think I would do Khalil Shakir between those two.
Over either? Yeah. I go Rachaad White. I feel good about him. Wolfpack, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you get all the points you need. You dominate week 5. We'll be live, I think, at 7 p.m. We'll see how I am. 7:45 rather with the truth. I've bought 5 mimosas already.
Today would have been your perfect smoker day.
I know, would have been, because I have all day off tomorrow to clean it, and I should have got it going. You're right, CJ, making me regret it already. Kamara or Jay Williams? I'm going to go Jay Williams. Damn close. What about you?
Kamara.
Oh, boy. Couldn't agree on our last one. But that thumbs up as you guys head out would mean the world. If you haven't already subbed to the channel, come on in. We'll be live at 7:45. Me, the truth, recapping all this action, giving you your early waiver wire, telling you how week 5 went and what you need to know. 7:45 tonight. Hopes to see you there. Let's go, Zappy season. I 100% agree, Di Lorenzo.
So gross.
Oh man, we got this. We did get a final one here.
Oh, and we have a video too.
We got a video calling. Fuck. All right, fine. We'll take you guys. Last 2 questions though. We'll start with the super chat. Kyle Freeman, thank you so much. And right as we're about to sign off, we get the Collins, we get the super chats. We can't ignore them. All right, Juju. So it's questionable. So you need to fill the flex. Keep Juju or put in Davis, White, or Johnson. I think all those guys are above Juju, honestly, for me. If Davis is Daddy Davis, we're going Gabe Davis, Kyle. We're firing up. There's no McKenzie. There's no Knox. He's practicing in full, looking as good as he's looked since week 1. We're going Davis. So let us know in the comments if it's Gabe Davis. If not, I'll probably go Deontay Johnson. But again, like, is D Johnson Deontay? Like, there's a little bit of clarity needed here. But I'm guessing it's Gabe Davis, and I'm hammering him over Juju right now. Yeah, both Herbert and Montgomery. Tough headache for you to have. And we'll pull in our last call of the day, showing off the Giants colors.
Yeah,
Dramatic
boy.
flair. Marky
Big
G, I
win.
love to see it. Love to see you, even though I hate you and your Giants.
Man, good to see you guys back, man.
This might be our
Cheers,
biggest fan base right now.
Plus 850 money line too. Hold that.
Love that.
Even better.
Nice.
Quick
Hammer the money
question before I hold you: Kareem Hunt or Zeke?
Kareem Hunt today.
Kareem Hunt for me.
Kareem Hunt, yeah. I think, they're giving up the most points to in terms of blocking wise. The Chargers are getting gashed, like the worst D-line in the league by a mile, and no Bosa. Love it. Like, probably getting comeback mode narrative too, a little bit more receptions. I think it's a big Hunt day today. I feel
like
really
that.
good about it.
I like that. Have a good day, guys. Good luck.
Thanks for the call and congrats to your fucking Giants. I hate them, but cheers, Mark. Cheers. Congrats to your Giants. Way too many Giants fans for the Roto Street right now. What did we do wrong, CJ? How do we get
I don't know. I think they lead our fan base.
They might. Jersey might be our number 1 spot right now. Fuck. Corey
And
Davis.
Corey.
It was Corey Davis. Yeah. So would have been a lot easier had it been Gabe Davis.
I'll go Deontay then, I guess.
I go Deontay, yeah. Tough matchup, but you got to just hope they go to their hog in this good shootout style matchup. St. Brown or Miles Sanders, I'm going St. Brown. Garrett Wilson and Bama Smith. I'm going Alabama Smith there, Devonta Smith. All righty, Wolfpack. We got to go get our fucking lineups ready. So, in a world full of fantasy sheep, come on back, 7:45 tonight for the recap show. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Hit the sub button if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you always know when we're locked on. My rankings will be updated in a second if you want to double check any last minute things. In a world full of fantasy sheep, be the